Hello, 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 hello. It's been a while and I'm sorry. Last week was a really busy week for me. We went out of town for the weekend, so because of that, I was working the first 5 days of the week instead of having a couple days off in the middle. And then obviously I was out of town, so I couldn't stream when I was out of town. I had planned to try and stream in my afternoons, but that didn't work out like I planned. So it's a new week. And because this week is the week of Black Friday and Turkey Day, it's going to be a little weird. I'm streaming today for a little bit. And then I will be streaming tomorrow in the afternoon. I don't know the exact time yet, mostly because we're doing Friendsgiving with our friends, and I don't want to rush that. So when I get home, I'm going to stream, but that's going to be that. I don't think I'm streaming on Friday just because I'm kind of doing like a middle of the day shift at work, and then I think Saturday I might have a stream. The following week is still have some question marks around it, and we'll talk about that later, but we're going to dive into this. Before we do, though, I am going to mention we are doing a seasonal card giveaway on Discord. So there is a post in the announcements that you guys can click on with a document that you can fill out if you'd like to receive a Christmas card. If there's more submissions than I have ordered, then we will do a raffle to make it fair. Just make sure you put your correct address in there. If you do join in, you do have to be a Twitch or a YouTube watcher to see it. So remember that when you're filling out the document. All right. Woohoo! We did it! We're here! We're back! I'm so tired. Last week was a lot. So, retail this time of year is probably one of the worst times. Just being real. So, it's been a lot. Lot of stuff coming in, a lot of stuff getting ready. Alright, so I hope this is the right one. On the way to see the society, I gently touched my lip. I didn't think she'd let me. Oh, right. I'm not staying. I'm doing Ghost Stories common route. Ooh, I'm so excited for you. Silly, hi. Yeah, you're back. I hope you're not burnt out. I'm not too burnt. Work doesn't. Work makes me tired. Last week there was the place next to us makes tacos and stuff like that. They had prepared the peppers inside instead of outside, so it was coming in through our vents, and I almost died. I had to like call the property manager and be like, dude, I'm dying in my store right now. I'm coughing, and everyone coming in here is having coughing fits. Because I was in it for 8 solid hours. I came home like with a migraine, so it was great. Also, silly, you need to resubmit your submission for the card. You didn't put your full address, so I won't be able to send it to you with that. I did an ultimate Otome tier list. I'm gonna share it later, but ooh, it has way too many love interests. I'm going to be working on pretty soon that tier list. I'm gonna have the tier list for the games we played this year specifically. I hopefully can find a way to make it public so you guys can make your own tier list, and then we'll do that for the end of the year. And then we'll talk about the upcoming Otome games again like we did last year. I was suffering. You you know so much, so I'm not surprised. Well, that's exciting. I hope you share it on Otome. We can look through it. Oh my gosh. And it might give me an idea of what I want to play next. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I saw yours and I was like, I don't know your Discord name, so I didn't know how to message you on Discord and be like, please fix it because I can't mail it with just that one line. I will be ordering the cards soon. I wonder if I can show them. You guys can tell me if you think I should modify it actually. Or am I easily distracted? Absolutely. Seasons. Let's find it really quick. Because I made it so far, and this is going to also include the cards that IFI sent me too, so everyone's gonna get a couple of those. It is so big. Hang on. It's so big. Hang on. I should make it so small that I can't grab it anymore. Woo! It looks like that. That's Bunny. That's the gang. This is what the card's gonna look like. So that's gonna be on the card. I'm gonna leave. Are you planning to play Virtue tomorrow? I might play Virtue. It depends on how far I get on this. My goal is to finish Yukimaro's route today, and if I don't finish, I'll be sad. So that's the one thing. So yeah, you'll get this card, and then I'm gonna put some of the IFI cards that they sent me as well in with the card. So that's gonna be what's gonna happen. And I'm ordering them very soon. They will hopefully all arrive before the holiday ends. I've messed up. I forgot how to delete things. Oh wait, there's a button. I got it. I'm good at this. Stream! Hello, Ninja. Thank you, Asia. Have fun with your route. I hope you're enjoying the game so far. I really like this so far. I know some people are giving it some harsh reviews, but I think it's good. Thank you, Ninja. The moment she closed her eyes, I'd never felt so elated in all my life. I intended to kiss her forehead, but I couldn't contain myself and kissed her lips instead. Though I was also always prepared to part ways with Leah, I never desired it, and besides, I would be too presumptuous to think that by leaving her, Leah would lose her happiness, right? Right?
だが、そばにいることはできる。
How long are you playing today? I'm going to be playing at least until I hit the end of Yukimara's route or in about 3 hours. Whichever one comes first. I want to finish Yukimara's route today. That way I can start. Hang on, I have all my notes here. Koharu's next. So I want to start Koharu's in the next stream because I want to try and make a long stream. I'm going to plan whatever day I have off next week. I'm going to plan to stream that whole day. And by whole day, my usual like about 9 hours stream. So I want to try and get through all of Kuharu's route at that point, which is why I probably will do Verge tomorrow because I want to finish Lucas's little adventures. So I can get to the routes I want to be on. I can stay by her side for now, even if she could no longer see me. Even if we could no longer speak to one another, I could still be near her. However, as I recalled the sad look on her face as I left, I felt as though my heart had been ripped in two. If only I could rush back there and hold her in my arms, but that was impossible. With that thought in mind, I knocked on the Guardian Spirit Society door. I was a spirit, meant to bring happiness. Once I made my master happy, I move on to the next. All I could do now is pray that her future would be filled with happiness, luck, and light after I left. I wish you every happiness. I also might plan a Zelda one soon too, just because I want to continue playing it. I feel like I'm gonna see. I knew we were that close to the end, and I was like, we're not gonna keep playing. I gotta go. We were so close. And I chatted for like 5 of those minutes, so it was really just like a minute. We're really close to the end of his, so hopefully we'll finish his. If we finish his early, I will start Koharu's early just because I don't want to not do too long a stream. After saying goodbye to Yukimaro, I headed home. There I found myself restless, continuously staring at the clock. Yukimaro's late. I'll see you tonight. That's what he promised, but it was nearing midnight. I wonder if the society considered me happy now. Because he's no longer my guardian spirit, I might not see him anymore. I sighed and shook my head. There's no point dwelling on it. All I can do now is wait. Excuse me, Leah. Oh, I learned this today, or not today, during the weekend. So over the weekend, I was at a convention called Konnichiwa. It's in Tucson. I'm in Arizona. I'm in Phoenix. So it's a 2-hour drive from here. And one of my friends there, we were chatting. She's playing Love and Deep Space. I refuse to download this game, guys. I won't do it. But I was talking to her about how I always change the character's name, and she said if you don't change the character's names, they'll usually say the character's name in these situations. And I'm like, will they now? Should I not be changing it to Leah? Like, oh. I was like, my bad. Toka. Looking up, I saw Toka's concerned face staring back at me.
Yukimaro-san ならきっと帰ってくるです。なんて言ったってあなたの座敷わらしなんですから。
I have a feeling Yukimaro will come back. He's your guardian spirit after all. I could tell he was trying to cheer me up, and that alone gave me some comfort. Instead of worrying alone, I found talking with someone to be comforting. They do. It's kind of fun to hear because it changes tones based on the situation. Ah, man. I always make it Leah because that's what I do in games. The next one we're going to do is Pio4, I believe. We're going to do a poll at the end, but I think Pio4 is going to win. Everyone's really excited about Pio4. But it's going to be Pio4 or Caller X Malice next that I play. And maybe I just won't change the name if I do Pio4. If Caller X Malice, I've already done it. She's already me. We are the same. What did I miss in his point of view? He's sad that if he loses her, he's going to be sad. That's about... He didn't say much. Basically, he's like, is it presumptuous of me to say that she might miss me? And her happiness might be gone if I'm not there? It kept me distracted. Thank you for your kind words, but he might not be my guardian spirit anymore. My career path isn't fully clear yet, but it's beginning to take shape.
ふう。あなたが辛そうにしていると、僕まで辛くなってくるです。恋煩いって苦しいんですね。
Seeing you troubled pains me as well. Love can be a thorny flower, you know. Tell me about it. Hey, wait! Did you say love?
言ったです。だって、雪丸さんに恋してるですよね。
Toka's just like right there. Yeah, of course. You're in love with Yukimaro, aren't you? How did you know?
この僕を侮っていますね。言ったじゃないですか。僕はあなたのストーカーだって。
I have made like 3 sound clips of Stalker, by the way. You underestimate my abilities. I told you before, didn't I? I am your stalker. What does stalking have to do with this?
だから、それほどあなたを分かってるってことです。様子だけで気持ちが分かっちゃうくらいには。
What don't you understand? I've watched you for so long, I know your feelings just by looking at you.
誰に恋をしているのかなんて、僕にはお見通しなんですから。
So hiding your crush from me is pointless. Oh wait, I didn't do my nails. I don't do my nails. I have a nail tech who's amazing, and she gave me cute Kirby nails. Are you gonna really ruin this for me, Light? I will turn you all the way around if you don't. Focus on my nails. Focus on them, please. There they are. Look how cute they are. These are the cutest. Oh my gosh. I totally love them. I love them so much. For our little weekend thing, we dressed up. We Disney bound Kirby and Waddle Dee, so I had like a pink top and a red skirt, and my sister had a orange top and a yellow skirt, and so she has Waddle Dees on her nails, and I have Kirby's on mine. We're gonna work on it a little bit more. Next time it's gonna be even more in sync. Our goal is always to kind of match at these because we are the same. We volunteer at this. We're considered part of the staff for this convention, so we like to try and match up when we're there. Our goal next year is to make everyone dress up as Lord of the Rings. We're gonna have a great time, guys. I don't fully get it, but somehow he's very persuasive. First off, he's your stalker, okay? And he's cute. I felt like he could see right through me, and I became embarrassed.
進路の次は恋につまずくなんて。
Actually, I need to Google something.
あなたの人生は山あり谷ありですね。
First career decision, now romantic dilemma. Life is just full of challenges, isn't it? Boy, that's a mood. That is a mood. Life is just full of challenges. Rude. Did I screenshot it? I'm hitting the wrong button. There it goes.
でも、きっと今度も乗り越えるんだと思うです。
Toka, I love you so much. I believe you'll overcome this too. Thank you, Toka. I have too much lotion on my hands to touch your controller. Hang on. Oh yeah, I hurt my wrist this weekend as well. I did a lot of stuff this week. I'm just slowly dying. So this weekend, they asked me to put up some of the signs because if you've ever been to a convention, there's a bunch of different stuff happening. There's panels, which I've done a panel myself. Done a couple panels actually. There are guests there that do signings. They have a masquerade. They have a cosplay contest. They have a lot of stuff that they do. And I was putting up some of the signs for this. And there was a back way to get to the other side. And it involves going down a stair. And at the end of these stairs is a door. The door is propped open. Keep that in mind. This door is prop opened. I walk through the doorway and stumble because there is a step. And on the door, if the door was closed, it would say, "Watch your step." And I would have seen that sign, but instead I'm holding a bunch of signs in my hands. And so I just don't see the step. I tumble forward, I hit the wall, my arm hurts right here, and my wrist hurts right now. Because I just fell right into the wall after it. I was very shocked. And I told everyone that story the whole weekend. I had to keep an ice pack on it. And sometimes when I twist my arm, this happened the second day, so Saturday. And it's now Wednesday, it still hurts. It still hurts. I can feel the bump still from when I hit it. So she a tender girl right now. But at least it doesn't hurt too bad. I'm sure it's just a sprain. I'm sure I'll be fine, but what a weekend. I had a great time. I had a great time in spite of hurting myself on the second day. I believe you'll overcome this too. Oh, we also went to a miniature museum. Oh, man, I did a lot of fun stuff this weekend. I'll talk about it later though. I appreciate your kindness, Toka, but this time it's different. He's a spirit. It's different? Wait, has she liked other boys? How is this different? What do you mean it's different? Yukimaro and I can't be together. I'm glad she said that because I feel like we need to establish that very early on in these guys' lives. There was a barrier between mortals and spirits that was simply couldn't overcome. Just speaking to him made that clear. I want her to become a guardian
それ
spirit.
は些細なことなのですよ。
Nonsense. It's a minor detail. He's a god. Toka giggled and it made me think, Toka is a god. Maybe he knows a way. Is that why he's so confident? I was just about to ask him when Toka spoke up first.
問題はそこじゃないです。相手があの雪丸さんってところが、もう、
The issue at hand isn't so much that he is what he is, but rather that you've chosen Yukimaro to begin with. Why does he look so sad?
お前、はっきり言って趣味悪いぜ。
Toka looks sad. You have terrible taste. Fuck you, Koharu. I didn't even notice Koharu had entered the room when he said that. Not you too, Koharu. Koharu noticed too? Am I really that transparent? Do I just like walk around? I don't know because you don't have a face. You are both terrible. You don't have to be so mean.
だって、ねえ、あの雪丸さんですよ。
Oh
イライ
yeah.
ラしてアニメばっかり見て。
You might notice my hair looks a bit different from the last stream. I put stuff in it to help take the color out. It's so blue. I'm gonna have to bleach it. But I like this shade of blue. I said I look like Sally face right now. Unintentionally. Just gonna do pigtails and wear a mask. You'll never know. This is Yukimaro we're talking about here. You know, the guy who just sits around smirking, watching anime all day.
食い意地も汚いったらないしな。歌も下手くそだし。
Not to mention he's a glutton and he sucks at
自
singing.
分勝手でわがまま。
So
あれは大
mean.
人のなりしたガキだ。
He's spoiled and self-centered like a kid stuck in an adult body. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? You can be childish. You can watch anime, Koharu. You can enjoy anime and be a good person. And so what if he likes anime and food? Those are just things he enjoys. Exactly. Why are we like talking like I love food? Dude, went to a new chicken place yesterday. Super excited. They had fried okra. Do you know how long it's been since I've had okra? They had breaded mushrooms. I love breaded mushrooms. Do you know how hard it is to find breaded mushrooms? I was like, I don't care what we get as long as breaded mushrooms is on the list. Oh my god. It was actually really good. We regretted the order we got because the proportions are huge. We ordered like the 12 going like everyone will get 4 strips that way. The strips were like this big. I ate 2 and thought I was gonna die. I ate 1 for breakfast today, by the way, because they're so big. What if he likes anime and food? Those are things he enjoys. What's wrong with doing the things you enjoy? Yukimaro is great. At least I think he's great. The words tumbled out of my mouth and they both stared back at me stunned. Maybe I overdid it. I'm sorry. Guess I got a little heated.
その熱は本人に伝わっているみたいです。
Seems your passion really got through to him. He's right behind me, isn't he? What does that mean? Love? Leah. I felt his voice close to my ear and then he embraced me from behind. Yukimaro!
そんなにも思ってくれていたなんて、我は幸せ者じゃ。
I appreciate that I know, I think it was Jay said she had turned his voice down. I don't think he's that loud. Or maybe, did I turn his voice down without even realizing it? That'd be crazy. Yeah, he's full. He's full for me. He doesn't seem that loud. It feels like his voice has been lowered already, though. Oh my goodness. Just in case you ever pop up again. Not saying I don't like her, I'm just saying I hate her. I didn't realize you felt so strongly about me. How truly lucky I am. You're back! Hey! Not in front of everyone, please!
ああ、イチャついちゃって。 僕は失礼するです。
Gosh, look at these two lovebirds. I'm out of here.
お似合いだぜ。
Well, aren't you two cute? They smirked as they left the room together.
我のことでムキになって憤慨してくれるとは愛しさが溢れて止まらないのだ。
You defended me with such passion. I'm just overflowing with love for you.
好き好きラブラブ。
You're adorable. Love, love, love. Could you not press your cheeks against me? Feeling both joy and embarrassment, I couldn't help but push Yukimaro away from me. Anyway, don't be like that. I just really want to know what's going on.
おお、そうじゃったそうじゃった。
Oh, you're absolutely right. His pouty expression quickly changed into a serious one. It seemed I'd finally found out what was going on. I sighed with relief only to be filled with shock as he got down on his knees. Huh? He bowed deeply as he did when we first met, and his presence seemingly
こた
transformed.
びこの雪丸は主様の座敷わらしの任を解かれました。
Okay, okay. Hear me out. I forgot everything for the last time we played. Previously, there's 9 chapters. I'm here supporting but lurking because I'm sick again. You're sick again? It's been like 3 weeks. What do you mean? What did you do? As of today, I, Yukimaro, have been officially released from my duty as your guardian spirit. Girl, quit it. I can't remember if there's only 7 chapters, because I know they have like less chapters, but it's 7 or is it 8? Am I gonna stalk this man? I got strep, girl. And my sister too. Your little sister who just had her quinceañera? What? Pretty sure she gave it to me. That's what family does. They share. That's what they do. Naturally. They just share. Which, by the way, I bought a bunch of my friends their Christmas gifts already because Target did half price on a bunch of plushies. And I'm like, dude, sleeping plushies, those are great for beds. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so sorry. I haven't had strep throat in a while. I don't want it again. I used to get it like every once a season. If my life was a season, once a season from like age 6 to 13, I'd get strep throat once a year. And I hated it. Ugh. I really don't want it because I talk a lot. As you might have noticed, I don't want to get strep throat.
けれども今後も変わらずに願っております。
However, I will continue
幸せがあらんことを。
to pray for your happiness, Leah. So this is really goodbye. He has always urged me to prepare mentally, and I knew deep down that this day would come. Yukimaro then stood up, offering a comforting
そなたのお
smile.
かげで我は見習いから正式な座敷わらしへと昇格できたのじゃ。
Your support
感
has...
謝してもしきれぬ。
Oh no, what did you miss? You missed that he said he's no longer going to be her guardian spirit, and she confessed that she's in love with him, but not to him directly, but to Toka. Your support has led me to become an official guardian spirit. My gratitude is beyond words. I prepared for this. I knew it was my turn to thank him as well. Yukimaro, I should be thanking you. You're the one who helped me figure out what to do with my future. For that, I'm truly grateful.
互いに成長したということじゃな。
Seems we both have grown through this little journey of ours. We have. The thought of us parting felt unbearable. That feeling hadn't changed, but I knew it wasn't the time for me to be selfish. I don't want to be a burden to him. I attempted to brave a smile. It hardly masked my sorrow. Tears inevitably oh gosh. Inevitably? Did I do it? Did I do it? Did I say it right? Tears inevitably began welling up in my eyes. There's too many. I can't do it. Oh, what did I miss? Can I have a summary from the beginning of his story altogether? So at the beginning of Yukimaro's route, our protagonist is having a fight with her mom. Her mom is having a really hard time accepting that her desires are not what her daughter needs. So she accepts that her daughter doesn't want to be a doctor, but the main character, Leah, we're gonna call her Leah, her name's Misa, doesn't believe her mom when her mom says it's okay for her to choose her own path. Yukimaro decides to help her see that path through. He encourages her to find things that make her excited. He can see auras, so he can tell when she's happy. She became very happy about cooking and the restaurant they were at. So he told her that maybe she should look into that. So she decides to get a part-time job there. She tells her mom. Her mom's really happy about this. This current stream, nah, we're good. We're catching up. We're catching up. Her mom was happy about this. She's really happy. Yukimaro gets called into a meeting with the divine beings that he is like part of. And then he's just now come back from that meeting and he has found out that she is, it's like Fairly Odd Parents, right? She's happy now. She doesn't need her guardian spirit anymore. So he's about to leave her for good. And she knows that. That means she can't see him anymore. So that's where we're at right now. This is the heartbreaking moment when they know that they have to separate and she's in love with him now. Because look at him. How could you not fall in love with this? He likes anime and food. I'm a simple girl. It hardly unmasked my sorrows. Tears inevitably began welling up in my eyes.
約束したであろう。我の前では素直でいること。
You promised me, remember, to always be honest with me. This is because he can see auras. He knows when she's lying. She can't be like, I'm happy. And like, it's like he sees blue around her. He's in love with him now. Did I say that? You know what? I'm in love with him too.
約束をくれぬか
We don't need a
そ
flashback.
なたの感情や気持ちがどんなものであれ我は受け止める
No matter how you feel right now, I want you to know I'll accept your emotions. His fingers brushed my cheek, and that's when I first realized tears were streaming down my face. I am so sorry. It's just, I know this is goodbye, and
我のために涙を流すその姿も愛くるしくてたまらぬ
that's a little dark, actually. Seeing those tears, knowing they're for me, it looks so beautiful. I can't take it.
もう少し見ていたいものだがやはりそなたには笑顔でいてほしい
As much as I'd love to watch a bit longer, I'd rather see you smile. Yukimaro's hand gently cradled my cheek. I placed my hand over his as if to affirm he was still with me.
我はあと少しの間そなたの瞳に映っていられるだろう
Leah, I believe I can stay with you just a little while longer. What do you mean? His expression was the most serious I've ever seen from him as he looked directly into my eyes.
思い出してほしい出会いの時を我がそなたの前に姿を見せたのはどんな状況であったか
Back to when we first met. What led me to appearing before you? That was... Priest was performing an exorcism. Oh, realization hit me as the memory became clear. I saw Yukimaro for the first time before he became my guardian spirit. The reason I can see you is... Yukimaro smiled and nodded in
あの
confirmation.
神主の力があってこそなのだ我が座敷わらしとして申し入れをする前から
It was the
我らの
priest's
視線は
power.
合っていた
We met before I became your guardian spirit. Is he saying I'll never not see him? We can still be together.
そういうことじゃ
Exactly. Overwhelmed with joy, I rushed towards Yukimaro and wrapped my arms around him.
そなたからの熱き抱擁たまらんのだ
Your passionate embrace, I'll never get enough of it. He's blushed around his eyes, by the way. He doesn't like blush on his cheeks. It's right here.
やはり感動の再会とはいいものだな愛おしさがあふれていつもより胸のキュンキュンも倍増じゃ
Trying to fix my pillow. It's low. All right. What a wonderful emotional reunion this is. I'm filled with love, and my heart beats for you more feverishly than ever. Nah, can't do it. You're kind of ruining the moment. Can I just keep all of that? Can you keep all that to yourself? Can you keep that to yourself, my guy?
喜ぶときは素直にが我流じゃ我の良いところをたくさんあげられるそなたならこれも美点であろ
You should know by now I always express my feelings like this when I'm happy. It's part of my charm. You should know that by now. You got a point there. I suppose your positivity is one of your many charms. That's right, a gloomy atmosphere doesn't suit us. Oh, I guess I'll leave. Even when the time for us to part comes, I knew Yukimaro would keep smiling until the end. I owe the priest a thank you. His ritual lets me stay with Yukimaro a bit longer. Wait, Yukimaro? I released him and stared. You know that it was the priest's power allowing us to see each other,
Ah,
right?
そうじゃ。
I did. And why did you say all that stuff at the shrine about me needing to be prepared and all? Yukimaro froze, caught off guard, and his eyes began to shift
そう。
away.
それはじゃな。万が一ということを考慮してのものだ。
That's because I thought of every possibility just in case. Don't tell me you acted that way just because you wanted to kiss me.
だって、他に好機がなかったんだもの。
I wasn't sure I'd get another chance to. Boy just lied. Oh my
もちろん
gosh.
そなたの気持ちが我に向くのを待とうと思っておったが、いずれ別れは訪れる。
Of course, I was waiting and hoped you had feelings for me, but I also knew our farewell was
だ
inevitable.
から、後悔のないよう、やりたいことはすべてやるべき。
I wanted to live without regrets, to seize every moment that we have together. You're using my own words against me.
嫌だったのかの
Did you not want to kiss me? Well, when he says it like that.
そなたも我と同じように接吻をしたいとそう思ってくれていると信じておったのだが
I believed you wanted to kiss me as much as I wanted to kiss you, Leah. Yukimaro looked at me with his wide puppy dog eyes. Oh my goodness. Also, there's another game. I posted on the Discord under, I think, just games, because I don't know if it counts as a Tome game, but it's like Mr. Crawley, Mr. Crawler, Mr. Slither. I'm so like, I need it. Mama, hello, hi. Hello, lovely people. Hello, lovely Muma. Are you preparing for the holiday of feast tomorrow? I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving in the normal way, by the way. One, I was raised extremely... I know I'm very pale. This is not an exaggeration, but I was raised to be a very proud Native American by my mother. And so I find Thanksgiving a really hard tradition to support, but I love food. So I will eat food, but I don't usually do anything too crazy or extravagant. So we're hanging out with our friends tomorrow. You know it, yeah. My sister's currently prepping our turkey. She wants the spatchcock. We're gonna see how it goes. My favorite dish is gonna be the green bean casserole. That's what I'm making. We're also making mashed potatoes. We're doing a Friendsgiving, so everyone's bringing some stuff, but we're doing mashed potatoes, green bean casserole because it's my favorite stuffing in the turkey. I think that's it. And hand pies. That's fantastic. We all call it Turkey Day here. We are pagan. See? Yeah. We just call it giving or like thanks. We don't really call it Thanksgiving, but like, oh gosh. Turkey Day is pretty accurate. That's actually pretty accurate. We're doing Friendsgiving tomorrow with our friends. So hopefully we'll play some games, eat some food, just hang out. It's good for us because we're all off tomorrow because the stores we work at are closed because they're kind. But I'm also that person that when they're like, you want to work on Thanksgiving, I would always volunteer because I don't, it's just a day. I didn't not want to. But that's a separate issue. Whether or not I wanted to is a separate issue. What? It's not right to trick someone into a kiss. Not the right answer. We're gonna go back. What's your favorite dish to make? What are you making? I love food. I mean, I didn't not want to. To be honest, I was happy about that kiss.
それを聞いて安心したぞ
I'm relieved to hear that.
それでは改めて
Yukimaro, you were fast. Let's share another kiss. Hey, don't get ahead of yourself. He hugged me tightly and tried to go in for another kiss, but I lightly pushed him away.
チ
Sevel's eggs, yes. Actually, we have to order more eggs. Oh no, we have to order eggs. My sister opened the fridge and was like, how many eggs do we have? And I was like, oh, we need more. You just reminded me that I wanted deviled eggs. Can I order them right now? See, my other order hasn't even gone through yet. I get to do desserts. My kids plan to help. And ham rolls? Excuse me? I'm listening? My sister's doing the turkey this year. Nice. We're doing a butter turkey. We got like a butter thing. It's gonna be butter turkey. I'm really excited. I suppose I'll have to wait for now. So he plans on trying again.
そろそろ寝た方が良いな。
Look at the time. We should head to bed soon. Together, I glanced at the clock and realized it was just about midnight. Wow, the time flies. I have school tomorrow. I really should get to sleep, but I wonder how much longer I'd be able to see him with my own eyes. I wondered how many times we'd be able to talk back and forth like this. Thinking about things that way, it seemed wasteful to fall asleep.
これでよし。すまんが、電気を消してくれんかの。
He just crawled into my bed, didn't he? This is nice. Would you mind turning off the lights? Oh, sure. Why are you in my bed? He stared at me as though sleeping in my bed was the most natural thing in the world.
これは奇妙なことを聞く。共に眠るからに決まっておろう。そなたを抱きしめて眠るのだ。
Such a strange question. It's so we can sleep together. Obviously, I'm gonna hug you to sleep from now on. What? What are you saying?
何があった？
What's going on in here?
どうしたです？
What happened?
おい、何かあったの
Hey,
か？
is something wrong?
工房でも出たの？
Is there a break-in? At my shout, everyone at home rushed into my room to check in on me. It turned into quite a commotion. As I tried to downplay the situation to my mom and sister, Yukimaro was escorted out by Toka, who chuckled coldly, and Koharu, who looked angry. Wow. He's bold. I give him that. I brushed Leah's hair with my fingertip gently and quietly to avoid waking her. If she had allowed it, I would have preferred to hold her tightly rather than touch her lightly like this. I longed to hold her, to kiss her once more.
おい、妙なこと考えるんじゃねえぞ。
Don't try anything funny.
今度おかしな真似をしたら、二度とお日様を拝めないようにしてやるで
Touch
す。
her again and you won't see the sunrise tomorrow. Yes, I'm being watched.
言われずとも分かっておる。ちょっと触れてるだけだもん。
You don't need to warn me. I get it. I'm only touching her hair. These guys sure are a pain. Unable to make them leave, I limited myself to caressing Leah's cheek. Surely they would permit at least that much. Leah smiled suddenly. I quickly withdrew my hand, fearing I'd awoken her. I held my breath watching her, but Leah's breathing remained steady. She was still sound asleep.
幸せそうな顔だの。どんな夢を見ているのやら。
This is how I got my husband, just nonchalantly confessing my love and everything I plan to do all the time is really works. You know, just being straightforward sometimes is helpful. I get that. I get that. How long have you been together? That's a question I haven't asked, but that's interesting. You just confessed. You're like, hey, hear me out. She looks content. I wonder what she's dreaming about. I hope she's dreaming of meeting me. I was immediately interrupted by some
てめえ
voices.
の夢じゃないことは確かだな。
I'm pretty damn sure she's dreaming about not you.
ですです。あんなことした後ですからね。
After everything you've done to her, that's a nightmare, not a dream.
うるさいぞ。我の妄想にまで口を挟むでない。
20 years together and married for 10 high school sweethearts. Oh my goodness. That's crazy cool. That's exciting. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. Will you two shut up? Just let me have my daydreams.
ああ？挟むに決まってんだろうが。妄想でも許されねえんだよ。
The hell? After all this shit you pulled, you're not allowed to uninterrupted
で
daydreams.
すです。万死に値するです。
Even daydreams are too good for you.
何を言う。我は彼女の。
What are you talking about? I am her.
し静かにするです。
Quiet, you'll wake her.
おい、そろそろ行くぞ。起こしたら悪いだろ。
I'm so interested in his hands. Like, what's up with that glove? Like, why? Why? Is that normal? One finger. All right, let's get out of here. I don't want to end up waking her.
嫌じゃ。徹夜してでもここにおる。
No, I don't want to go. I want to stay here all night with her.
勘弁しろよ。お前に付き合ってるこっちの身にもなれ。
Put yourself in our shoes. We don't want to stay here watching
悪
you.
いが、付き合ってもらうぞ。こうしていられるのも、あとわずかかもしれんからな。
He lied to us. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to be like this with
目
her.
覚めた時から彼女の瞳に映っていたいのだ。そして、おはようと。
I want to see her as soon as she wakes, and I want to say good morning.
仕方ねえな。
Fine. Koharu said that and laid down on the floor. I guess he's not gonna leave. I would have liked to be alone with her, but I guess he was only looking out for her.
僕も付き合うです。彼女に何かあってはいけないですから。
I'll stay too. I can't let anything happen to her.
感謝するぞ。二人とも。
Thank you too. Just sitting here, watching a girl sleep like it's nothing. It's fine. Nothing's weird about that. The next day, the hectic night was followed by a surprise-filled morning. I woke up to find the three of them in my room. All of them looked exhausted, as though they had barely slept a wink. I wonder what happened. Spirits don't need to sleep, from my understanding. I'm heading out. As I opened the door to leave for school, Yukimaro was there with his arms crossed waiting. Were you waiting
さ
for
っ
me?
き部屋で言い忘れたことがあったのだ。
We need to talk about earlier. For some reason, Yukimaro looked very
どうし
upset.
て昨夜我を助けてくれなかったのだ。
Why didn't you save me last night? What are you talking about?
そなたの部屋から連れ出された後、小春と東花殿からひどい目に遭わされたのだぞ。
After Koharu and Toka dragged me out of the room. They really chewed me out. Oh, that. Come to think of it, I did hear a lot of commotion coming from behind the door as I tried to smooth things over with Mom and Sis. And by the time I went to sleep, my room was empty. Thanks to that, I was able to get a good night's rest. Leah! Jay! Hello! Blue! Leah! Muma! Silly! Asia's here, but Asia's kind of not here. Asia left. You had it coming, Yukimaro. You tried to sleep in my bed after all.
我悪くないもん。
I missed you and I hope you're well. Thank you.
なのにそなたがあらぬ想像をしたせいで。
I missed you guys too. I felt so... It feels like I haven't streamed in forever. I know it hasn't been that long. I streamed at least once last week, but like, oh my gosh. I had planned to stream more. We were just so behind getting stuff ready to leave. I was like, I can't. And then I came home that one day with a migraine the day I planned on streaming. I was like, okay, well... I'm at the end of it. I knew this week was going to be hectic. It's always hectic in November and December at work, so... We'll see. Responsibilities of life. I know. I hate it. Like, what is this? I'm responsible? Like, what does this mean? It's not my fault. I just want to be next to you. You're the one who got the wrong idea. What do you mean by that? How is this my fault?
そうじゃ。我は純度 100% だったのに。
Exactly. I'm so glad you understand. I was acting with 100% purity. 100% purity. He makes it sound like he's talking about some kind of juice. I did my tier list and so did Asia. Hers is never ending. Do I need to see what tier list you guys used? Oh my gosh. Asia was talking about hers. I'm gonna do my end of the year tier list like I did last year. I'm gonna build it myself on one of those things that let you create a tier list and put specifically all the characters we met this year in 2024. And then we're gonna do the same thing we did last year where we talk about what we're gonna play next year. And just have a chat. Despite my embarrassment, I had to set things straight. Can you really blame me for thinking that I have feelings for you?
なんと。
What? My goal is to finish Verche and 9 R.I.P before the end of the year. So they'll be on the tier list and I'm fresh and I'm clean.
今好きって 我のこと好きって言うてくれたのか？
Did you say you have feelings for... Are you saying you like me? Officially? His pouty face disappeared, replaced by a beaming smile.
もう一度言ってく
There he
れる
is,
かな？
blushing around his eyes. Please, can you say it again? Just once more. Forget it. I started to walk quickly, almost running away from Yukimaro, who began trotting along after me. He wants to hold your hand. Good morning. Good morning, Sayaka.
今日もゆきまるさんと一緒なんだ。愛が溢れてるね。
You're with Yukimaro again. You guys just radiate love. I wouldn't go that far. Despite my desire to be honest with my feelings, I couldn't say it anymore.
おはようさやか殿。我は愛に生きているのだ。
Good morning, Sayaka. I wouldn't say we're radiating as much as we're basking in love. Can't he just say hello? Oh, that's right. I was planning to visit my sister's shop today. Do you want to come too, Sayaka?
ごめん、今日は塾があるんだよね。もっと早くに行ってよ。
I'm sorry, I got cram school. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I should have. My bad for asking day of. I guess I'll just head there by myself. Then I felt a poke on my shoulder.
我は暇なのだ。
I'm free. I can go. Oh.
いいじゃん。ゆきまるさんとデートがてら行ってきなよ。
There you go. When I go on a date with Yukimaro. Hearing Sayaka say it out loud is embarrassing, but I'd love to go on a date. So, Yukimaro, would you like to go with me?
もちろんじゃ。断られてもついていくぞ。
Absolutely, but I was planning on going even if you didn't invite me.
よかったですね、ゆきまるさん。楽しんできてくださいね。
Yay! I hope you two enjoy yourselves.
当然じゃ。というよりも、彼女がいればどこでだって楽しめるのだ。
Of course I will. It doesn't matter where I go, as long as I'm with Leah, I'm happy. Seeing Sayaka and Yukimaro's excitement, I began to feel jittery. A date! Not to mention, we'll be going somewhere new together. I'm excited. After school, I met Yukimaro at the school entrance and we headed towards the city of the train.
姉上のお店は結構遠いのだな。
City? Did I read that right? Towards the city on the train. Your sister's store is pretty far. Yeah, but it's less than an hour away. Her store is in a fashionable city called Harajuku. You may have never heard about that city before.
おお、それなら知っておるぞ。
No, you
パンケ
haven't.
ーキやクレープなど甘味で溢れておる町だとか。
Oh, I know that place. It's a town filled with sweets, like delicious pancakes and crepes. That's not all it's known for. He probably got that idea from watching TV. But when I saw how happy Yukimaro looked, I didn't feel like the need to correct him. After visiting my sister's shop, how about we grab some crepes? Yukimaro's face lit up as at the suggestion, shining almost too brightly.
一度食べてみたいと思っておったのだ。
Wow,
感謝する。
I've always wanted to try them. Thank you, Leah. You can't be so loud on the train.
これはすまぬ。マナーというのがあるんだったな。
My apologies, I forgot about what humans called manners. Although Yukimaro apologized, he was still restless and buzzing with excitement. He can be like a little kid one moment and then surprisingly mature the next. I quickly decided to sneak a peek at him. Catching me, Yukimaro smiled effortlessly and tilted his head. I wonder if he's doing this on purpose. Since we boarded the train, Yukimaro casually guided me and shielded me. He was almost like my personal escort. Now that I think about it, whenever we talk on the sidewalk, he takes the side nearest to the road. Noticing those little things made me smile. It felt like I was being treated like a lady with the way he protected me. I was treated like a lady.
こうしていつもの街を離れるのも新鮮でいいの。
It's nice to get out of town like this. Agreed. Even casual conversations were enjoyable with him. I only wish we could visit more places together like this. I shouldn't get so emotional. Not now, anyway. I tried to shake the thought from my head. Yukimaro cocked his head, looking puzzled.
どうしたのだ？
What's wrong? 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 No, you said never lie. I'm just having so much fun. I'm just having so much fun.
公共の場所でそ のように可愛らしいことを言うでない。
You really shouldn't say such adorable things to me in public.
としたいのをこらえるのに必死じゃ。どうしてくれる？
I'm already having enough trouble not wrapping my arm around you. Do you have any idea what you're doing to me? Sorry. Seeing Yukimaro so flustered made me burst out laughing.
たく。
Jeez, Yukimaro then whispered in my ear. His hot breath tickled my skin.
その笑顔が向けられる先は永遠に我であってほしいものだが。
I hope that you'll smile like that at me for all eternity. Yukimaro then stood up
我が
straight.
見えなくなってしまってもどうか笑っていてほしい。
Even if a time comes when you can't see me, I want you to keep
笑
smiling.
顔を向ける先が別のものに変わろうとも、そなたが幸せでいてくれさえすれば我はそれでいいのだから。
Even if that means you're smiling at someone else, I want you to be happy. That's all I've ever wanted for you. I understand. I felt a mix of joy and sorrow, but I embraced his thoughts and feelings. As for me, I want love to begin and end with you, Yukimaro. That was my only wish. It's hard when you fall in love with a spirit. Am I right? High five. Oh my goodness. The train was in a public space, and mortals are required to act a certain way there. I knew that, but I couldn't help myself. With a bashful smile, she kept excitedly talking about how much fun she was having. She's so cute! My heart clenched in turmoil. I yearned to hold Leah close, to share my feelings with her. If only we weren't surrounded by people. The challenge made the moment seem even sweeter. I wanted to enjoy it, yet I want to get off the train immediately. I want to hold her hand this very instant.
おうまだつかぬのか。
Are we there yet? Almost. Why are you so exhausted?
そうか。この戦いもあともうすぐで終わる。
Is he a dragon slayer? Does he have motion sickness from being in vehicles? I see. My ordeal will be over soon. Huh? Looking at Leah felt overwhelming. I'm surprised. I'd surpassed even my own limits, yet I still wanted to savor everything about this moment. I endured my struggle until we got off the train. Struggling. Finally, we reached my sister's store. Her display immediately caught my attention, and I had paused to admire it. Wow, look how cool it is. Don't you think so, Yukimaro? Look at that. She put stuff.
なかなかに良い出来栄えじゃ。というか、良い雰囲気を作り出しておる。
It's very impressive. More than anything, it creates an excellent atmosphere. I wonder if his ability to sense auras extend to objects as well as people.
いらっしゃい。雪丸さんと来たなんて意外だな。
Yeah, welcome. You brought Yukimaro. Hey, Tsubasa. Sayaka couldn't come, so I asked Yukimaro to join me
お邪魔して
instead.
おるぞ、姉上殿。
It's an honor to be here with you, dear sister.
姉上殿ってのはちょっと恥ずかしいな。
Dear
翼でいいんで
sister.
すよ。
That's a bit much. Just call me Tsubasa.
では、翼殿じゃな。
Miss Tsubasa it is then.
まあそれでもいいかな。
Sure, that works.
なるほど。このお店の良い雰囲気を作っておるのは、どうやら翼殿らしい。
I see. Miss Tsubasa, I must say I am dazzled with the welcoming atmosphere you've cultivated here. Yukimaro nodded with a smile as if he had come to some kind of understanding with the
見
place.
事な飾り付けだが、それだけではない。翼殿の人柄と仕事への熱意が人々を引きつけておるのだな。
The design's well done, yes, but the truth is it's the passion for your work that no doubt draws people here. I knew it! You can read the aura of objects too. Even if Yukimaro isn't an expert in fashion, he was able to recognize the shop's
や
appeal.
だな、褒めすぎですよ。そこまで言われちゃうとどうしたらいいかわからなくなるじゃないですか。
Ah, you're flattering me too much. You keep that up and I won't know what to do with myself.
我は素直な気持ちを述べただけだわ。
I'm merely stating the truth.
おい、この人止めてよ。恥ずかしくて仕事になんないって。
Mia, can you stop him? I can't work. I'm blushing too much. Seeing my sister so flustered was rare, and I didn't know why I thought it was so funny. Just accept it. Yukimaro has a knack for picking up on people's best traits, but for what it's worth, I agree with him.
ってことは、こういう人を選んだあんたも見る目があるって
Oh,
ことだな。
oh, 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 oh. Well, you've got a pretty good eye yourself, picking him, I mean. Caught off guard, I was at a loss for words. It's not like I picked him.
ゆきまろ
Well,
さん、帰り道は妹を家のそばまで送ってあげてくれませんか？
Yukimaro, could you make sure my sister gets home safely later?
頼まれずともそうするつもりじゃ。
No
何を
need
置いて
to
も
ask.
彼女を守ると約束しよ
I was already planning to escort her home. I promised to keep Leah safe no matter what.
あなたに任せれば心配なさそうですね。
If she's with you, then I won't worry. I hadn't planned to keep my relationship a secret from my sister, but she seems to have figured it out already. I'm so embarrassed. But at the same time, it wasn't a bad feeling.
よし、新作も入ってるし、秋冬物を見立ててやるからこっち来い。
I've got some new pieces for the fall and winter collection. Come on, I'll pick out something for
ゆ
you.
きまろさんはうちの妹が着飾るところを
Stay put, Yukimaro. You'll enjoy seeing how cute my little sister looks in all these new clothes. Hey!
う。おお、それは楽しみじゃ。今日はあと何度惚れ直してしまうのか。恐ろしや恐ろしや。
I can't wait! How many more times can I fall in love with her? I wonder, so frightening. More
そな
time.
たのことは日々惚れ直しておるのだ。一日の最高記録は9回じゃ。今日は新記録が出るやもしれん。
I fall in love with you anew every day. The most has been 9 times in one day, though it might set a new record today. I was flattered, but I also knew I didn't want him to overdo it. It was too embarrassing.
ゆきまろさんって面白い人なんですね。
Yukimaro, you're really funny. Gosh. Yeah, he's hilarious. Shut up. Now that we're here, I see what my sister and Yukimaro planned to make. Now that we're here, I see that my sister and Yukimaro planned to make this fun for themselves. I just stood there watching them, amused and embarrassed as they excitedly talked about me while I tried various outfits. I felt both delighted and self-conscious. This turned out to be fun. What a surprise!
ああ、今日は実に良い日じゃ。
Today
そなたの愛らしい姿も見られたし、
was such a great
クレー
day.
プも美味だし。
I got to see Leah in adorable clothing, and this crepe is delicious. Yukimaro had cream at the corner of his mouth, so he let out a happy laugh. You're still got some cream on you here. I reached out to wipe it away. Suddenly, Yukimaro licked the cream off my finger.
そなたが馳走してくれたものはどんなことがあっても残さぬ。
I can't let a part of my meal you've treated me to go to waste, not even a single bite. You surprised me. Next time, please ask first, okay? What am I even saying? My heart raised from its surprise, leading to the odd emotion of
う
him.
む、今度からきちんと申告しよ
Got it. I'll ask you next time. Anyway, Yukimaro glanced at the passerbyers before
う。
continuing.
成見ヶ浜と違って人がたくさんいるの。
Narimigahama is always so lively. I love how it's just bustles with activity. So you like living in places. You like lively places, Yukimaro?
我は人間が好きでたまらぬでな。
Yes, I simply enjoy the energy of mortals. He finished his crepe and looked truly content.
人々の活気にあふれている場所は良い気で満ちておる。それを感じ取るのは心地が良い。
Busy places are full of vibrant energy. I find it to be very soothing. His affection for people reminded me that he once was a god. Is it true that you were a god, Yukimaro? It was something I hesitated to ask, but he seemed neither surprised nor upset by the question. He merely smiled.
ほう、我のことを聞いてくるとは珍しい。
Where have you to ask about me? I've always been curious, but now I was just wanting to know everything about you.
嬉しいことを言ってくれる。せっかくの機会じゃ。一つ昔話に花を咲かせるのもいいか。
It makes me very happy. This seems like a perfect moment to dig up some old stories. Yukimaro looked up. His gaze wandering into the distance as if sifting through long forgotten
これ
memories.
は今よりずっと昔の話じゃ。
It all happened a long, long time ago. Long ago, people worshipped me as their god. I safeguarded the land and blessed its people. In essence, I was the deity of that land. Faith from the people sustained my divinity. I thrived on their prayers and offerings, but as time went by, fewer and fewer people believed in me. In the end, only an elderly couple prayed to me. Every day they visited my modest shrine and left offerings in my name. Each time they passed, they bowed and prayed. For a god, there is no greater pain than being forgotten by your followers. That couple was my last beacon of hope, but time is unforgiving. One day, only the old woman came. It seemed that her husband had fallen ill. Each day she prayed I would heal him. Please, heal my husband's sickness. Without him, I feel I'll die of despair. I felt her pain deeply. Without them, I too would have faced such despair. I yearned to repay them. They had visited me daily. They had given me gifts and kind words. Even though my powers waned, I still yearned to save the old man. Hearing my determination, Koharu furrowed his brow in response.
お前には人間の病を治すくらいの力はある。だが、個人的な感情で直接干渉することは禁忌じゃねえか。
You have the power to heal a mortal's illness, but it's taboo to intervene due to personal emotions.
神でいられなくなってもいいのか。
Are you seriously willing to risk not being a god
よ
anymore?
いよい。持っていたって使わぬ力なのだぞ。持ち腐れになるなら人々のために役立てるのがいい。
Absolutely. If my powers remain unused, they're wasted. I'd rather they go to benefit someone.
それにな、神でいられずとも人々を幸福にすることはできる。
Moreover,
なせばなる。
Losing my godhood doesn't end my ability to bring joy to people. Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
そうかよ。ま、お前らしくていいんじゃねえか。
Really? Well, I suppose that sounds very typical of you. Afterwards, I went to the couple's home and cured the old man's illness. Seeing their joy brought me such warmth. Yet, having broken the taboo, I was forced to resign as a god. My hand was marked. I was stripped of my powers, yet I harbored no regrets. You don't need powers to support someone, all you need is determination. Thus, I became a guardian spirit, driven by my desire to bring happiness to people. As Yukimaro finished, he rubbed his left hand. I noticed the dark bruise there.
このあざは我の宝物。
It's not really a bruise. I treasure this
こ
bruise.
れはあの夫婦との思い出の証なのだ。我を最後まで信仰してくれて、毎日心を満たしてくれたあの日々のな。
It reminds me of the memories I had with them and proof that they have faith in me in the end. Fills my heart with warmth each day. He always said he enjoyed seeing people smile, and hearing this story from his past made me smile. It was clear he held no
座
regret.
敷わらしは我にとって天職じゃ。我が幸福を感じているということは、我の周りにいる人々も幸福という証。
Being a guardian spirit is my true calling. The fact that I feel this happy is proof that I'm making others happy as well.
人間とは良い関係を築きたい。だが、
I want nothing more than to be kind to other mortals, however. Yukimaro turned to me. His gaze was peaceful yet filled with passion. He stared directly into my
我
eyes.
が我自身の幸福を願うようになったのは、そなたと出会ってからじゃ。
Only after meeting you did I start wishing for my own happiness. Me.
そなたのそばにいたいと思うようになった。
Yes, I want to be by your side.
そなたをぎゅっ
He likes
と
me.
抱きしめ、
He really likes
肌
me.
で感じ、そなたの笑顔の先にいるのが我ならばと、
I want to be the one to hold you tight.
幸福あふれる願いを抱いたのだ。
I want to see your smiles directed at me. Such joyful desires have grown within me. Suddenly, Yukimaro's expression turned sad and my heart began to ache. We care so deeply for each other. Why can't we have a future together? Somehow, I already knew the answer to that
すまない
question.
夢のような話だったの。
I apologize. It was only a dream. Yukimaro stood up and smiled as he offered me his hand.
さて、そろそろ日が沈む。帰らねばな。
The sun is starting to set. We should return home. Right. I smiled as usual and took his hand. I tried not to drown in the sorrow that lingered in my heart. What am I saying? I returned home with Yukimaro. My mother had a night shift, so I had dinner with my sister. She kept asking about Yukimaro, but little did she know he was standing right there in spirit form. Haha, just staring at him. It's not fair. You were listening in on us. Dude, not
良い
cool.
ではないか。そなたが我への思いを語る姿を見るのも胸がキュンとして好きなのじゃ。
I'm writing notes down so I don't forget things. Why not, though? I love watching you talk about me. It makes my heart
ゆ
flutter.
きまろさんって意外と意地悪ですね。でも
This is how you know I had a busy
僕だっ
week.
た
I
としても
didn't
そば
even
で
fill
聞い
this
ちゃう
out
かも。
last week. I have not put any X's on anything for last week in my book. You're a lot meaner than you look, Yukimaro. I thought honestly, I'd probably stick around if you were talking about me. As the three of us talked, time quickly passed us by. I need to start getting ready for bed soon. Toka then took a step
おやす
towards
みなさい。
me.
眠っている間も見守っていますね。
I'll be protecting you even while you
と
sleep.
言ってもずっと見守っているんですけどね。
That was the
それが僕の幸せだから。
I say that, but I'd be watching over you regardless. That is my joy. Thank you, but hearing you say it like that makes me embarrassed. I just realized I don't have. Hang on. I never opened. So I turned my computer off when I was on my trip, so nothing was open. I had to reset everything. I forgot to open a browser screen. I always have a browser screen in the background in case I need to search something, and so I can have the opportunity to raid if someone's streaming. Toka smiled and left the room. I suddenly found myself alone with Yukimaro.
今宵こそ共に眠りたいのだが。
It's loading so slow. Oh no, it's so big I can't read the screen. Please grab the right thing. Oh gosh, I got so scared. Why is it so large? I'd like to share the bed with you tonight. No, 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 no. No, you're cute, but no. No.
わかっておる。だが、お休みの中は良いだろう。
I knew it. Still worth a try though. Would it be okay if I kissed you goodnight? That's okay, right? That's fine. That's fine. Without waiting for an answer, Yukimaro gently took my hand and kissed it. It's still loading my document, by the way.
願わくば夢に我が現れるように。
Like everything lagged. It was because it was thinking. Thank you for another wonderful day, Leah. I hope I can see you in my dreams. I love him. I want to thank you too. I'll be wishing to see you in my dreams until I fall asleep, okay? Yukimaro smiled in response and then left the room. Today was another happy day. With that thought in mind, I laid down in bed. I'm a silly goose. I'm a silly goose. It's still loading. My computer's not having a good day. I need to turn off the lights. Unable to fight the tiredness, I closed my eyes. I hope to dream of Yukimaro. I heard someone calling me in my dream. Leah? Is that you, Yukimaro?
ずっと見守っておる。大切なそなたの幸せを。
Is this boy about to leave me? Oh my goodness. It took that long for it to load. I'll always be watching over you. I'll be wishing for your happiness. I can't really hear him. What is he saying? Yukimaro. Your boy's leaving you, like right now. He's gone. Boy's gone. That's wild. It acted like I had a new message, but the message is from October. What the heck? I've been on my computer since before then. Oh, interesting. Okay. Weird. Alright, I'll have to look into that later. Not now. I want to play my game. Alright, I finally have my pop-up now. I can raid once again if I want to. The bright morning sun cascaded through the window, waking me up. What a strange dream. It was as though Yukimaro was saying something to me, or at least that's how it felt. I didn't think I'd actually dream of Yukimaro. I got ready as usual and ate my breakfast just like any other morning. But something was different. No one was at home but Yukimaro Toka, not Yukimaro Toka or Koharu. Is everyone busy or something? I'm heading out. I looked around the house. I thought at least Yukimaro would be here. Dude, did they leave me? They left me for real? I might need to clean my room. Hear me out. There's a lot of stuff just sitting here. He always waited for me outside whenever I head to school, but I didn't see him anywhere. I have a bad feeling about this. Don't tell me he left without saying goodbye. After school, I ran home as fast as I could. When do I start my part-time job? He wouldn't leave without saying goodbye, but that's not exactly what's happening. He didn't leave. I just couldn't see him. Press the button. I pressed the button. It just delayed. When that realization came to me at school, I just couldn't stay calm. Making sure it didn't reset my thing. Everything crashed just now on my screen. Oh, did a random window open? Is that what did that? That'd be crazy. It says I'm unstable. It says I'm unstable, guys. Please? Is it okay now? I think it's okay now. I'm sorry, guys. It's just saying I'm unstable, which I don't know why. Is my internet dying? Could be my actual internet. We'll see. We'll see. It says I'm still live. It says it didn't crash, so I should be okay. If it seems strange and you're watching this as a after stream, everything on my computer froze for a second there, and then it said I had on my OBS, it was warning me that my network was unstable, but it's saying I'm back up to the normal KBS as I was at before. Hopefully we're fine. It did have a pop-up randomly on my computer, so maybe the pop-up did it. I really don't know. I'll close that for now. I don't usually leave that open. Yukimaro, are you here? Toka, Koharu! No one responded, and my voice was the only thing that echoed in the hall. Horrible emotions overwhelmed me. It felt like the depths of my souls were being crushed and I could barely breathe. Looks good to me. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for that. Hey, I heard a voice from behind me and I rushed to turn around to find Koharu there. Koharu, I'm so glad. I thought I couldn't see you guys anymore. I was so worried. Relief washed over me as I looked at Koharu. I'm sure both Yukimaro and Toka are just out taking care of something. Have you seen Yukimaro? I haven't seen him all day today. Koharu, what's the matter? Why isn't he saying anything? Why does he look so pained?
お前に俺が見えているのはなんでだと思う？
Why do you think you're able to see me? What do you have any idea?
俺がそうさせているからだ。お前が儀式に失敗した。その代償にたたるっていう名目でな。
It's because I'm letting you see me. You failed the ritual. That's why I have to haunt you for making that mistake. I felt dizzy.
雪丸も10日もどこにも行っていない。ずっとお前のそばにいる。
Neither Yukimaro nor Toka went
Kokoro.
anywhere. They're by your side right now. I looked around me, but I still couldn't see anyone. It was just Koharu and me in the room. I didn't get to say goodbye. I couldn't even say thank you. I couldn't see anything before me. Tears began to stream down my face. From there, I could no longer form words. Koharu placed his hand on my head and offered me his chest to lean on. I clutched his kimono tightly and just cried and cried like a child. The end. Chapter 8! Don't worry, we're doing this, guys. It all makes sense. After my mom came home, I said I felt sick and shut myself in my room and just let tears flow. I always knew this moment would come. I never expected it to be so soon. I at least thought I'd be able to say goodbye, but even now I could still call out to them. I learned to look forward, to keep moving. They showed me how, after all. Are you there? I whispered to the emptiness. No reply came. My phone did a weird thing. Oh, perfect. Not that I expected one would. My words just evaporated into the silence. I felt compelled to keep talking. Toka, I know you've been with me ever since I was little. I'm so grateful for the moments we shared. I truly am grateful for the bottom of my heart. To have learned of your existence. Thank you. I took in a deep breath, seeking serenity, and then slowly let it out. Yukimaro. I was breaking down, just calling his name. I'm so glad I met you. It wasn't that I couldn't speak, I just couldn't find the right words to say. I really wanted to tell him. Oh goodness, okay. Why did Toka do this too? I will never forget you. Aw, man, that seems right. The time we shared our treasure to me, I believe it will stay in my heart forever. The room was silent. I said those words trying to move forward, but it didn't ease the pain I felt in my heart. Let's load that up again. I'll always be thinking about you. I see never forget felt like it'd be right, because that's why you stopped being a god. I'll always be thinking about you. Even if I met someone else in the future, my feelings for you will never change. The room was silent. I said those words trying to move forward, but it didn't ease the pain. No response. Before they could interact with objects, even eat. Now there was no sign of them. Then came a knock and the door opened without waiting for me to answer.
どうだ調子は
How are you holding up? Koharu, are you gonna leave me too? Koharu's question was tinged with awkwardness, perhaps unsure of what exactly to say. Somehow, his clumsiness made me feel just a little bit better. I just said goodbye to them, but I'm not sure I did it right. I tried to smile at him, but realized my smile was likely filled with pain. I half expected them to show some kind of sign that they heard me, maybe move something, but because there was no response, it felt like I was saying goodbye to them too late.
そうじゃないいたずらに人の世へ干渉することは良くないこととされている
That's not the case. In our realm, there's a belief that interfering too much with the mortal world isn't right.
まあ人に悪さする奴らもいるが大抵のあやかしはわきまえている干渉したら罰があるってわけじゃないがな
Sure, some spirits play tricks, but most abide by this rule. There's no punishment, but it's an understood boundary.
人の世に暗黙の決まりがあるようにあやかしの世にもそういうのがある
Just as the mortal realm has
常識ってやつだ。
unspoken rules, so does the spirit realm. Think of it as some kind of common sense. Think of it as a kind of common sense to us. World of spirits. In the spirit world, to interfere in human affairs is considered undesirable and against common sense. However, it is not strictly forbidden, and therefore, there are no punishments for it. I see.
ちなみに言っておくが過度に人の姿に化けるのも干渉になる
And just so you know, even us taking human form is considered intervening. Why aren't spirits allowed to
今
intervene?
回の場合お前の思いを縛ることになるお前の人生の邪魔になるだろう人は人 あやかしはあやかしだ。
In this case, your feelings would be influenced. That would interfere with your life, right? Mortals have that their past and spirits have theirs. I guess I kind of understand that. Yukimaro said he looked for ways for us to stay together but found none. I just wished I could see him for one more second. A moment to say goodbye would have been nice, but maybe that wasn't what I needed. I knew this day was inevitable, and though I thought I was ready for it, but clearly I was not.
心ってのは頭で整理できることじゃないからな。
Feelings aren't something you can neatly box away. Hearing him agree with me lightened my heart. At the same time, I started thinking about Yukimaro. I wonder how he was holding up. I'd been so wrapped up in my own feelings. Yukimaro. How do I say this? Should I ask if he's happy or if he's managing okay? Should I ask about his role as a guardian spirit? Koharu's reading my concerned offered a comforting smile.
あいつなら大丈夫だ。ガキみてえな振る舞いばかりだが、それなりにできたやつではある。
Don't worry about him. Despite the way he acts like a spoiled little brat, sometimes he can take care of himself. If you say so, Koharu, then I feel better. He's right in that in the time I spent with Yukimaro, it seems like he'd prepared himself for this. He was always anxious for my future. He would always worry about what would happen after he was gone. I need to pull myself together. I think it'll take a while before I am able to go back to living an ordinary life like I was before, but I'll do my best. I smiled and Koharu reciprocated.
お前なら大丈夫だとは思うが、
Hydrate.
俺はもう少しだけ様子を見ていることにする。
Yeah, apparently I needed that. My body is still in pain from this weekend, so I helped with it's called loadout. It's when we pack everything up and put it back in the trailer because the conventions I go to, they're ran by not one person, but they bring all the stuff and we have to pack and unpack and stuff like that. So my body's kind of sore. I am back. I have no idea what's happening even if I've been listening in all this time. The simplest way to describe it is he's no longer her guardian spirit. And because of that, he can't intervene with her much longer. So he's officially disappeared out of her view. So has Toka for some reason, which is rude because Toka, rude. Because they feel like they're getting too intertwined. Like you can't, like Ghostbusters say, you can't cross streams for too long, right? It causes issues. Koharu, however, is haunting her. So because he's still haunting her, he's able to still talk to her. The other two, though, they pieced out. You seem like you'll manage, but just to be safe, I'll stick around a little bit longer to ensure everything is okay. Thank you. So the reason I can see you is because you still need to haunt me, right? When are you planning to do the haunting? I'd like to brace myself for it.
そう構えなくてもいい。じっくり恐怖を味わわせてやるからな。
No need to stress about it.
感傷に浸る暇なんてないくらいに。
I'll give you the taste of fear. I'll give you the taste of fear, but nothing that'll make you cry. I gulped hard in response as to his intense gaze. Please don't make it too scary.
冗談だ。ま、お前が雪丸のことが気になっている間は、ここにいてやる。
I'm just messing with you. Don't worry, I won't go anywhere while you're still feeling sad about Yukimaro. In that case, can I tell you about him? Can you tell me about him? What is he doing these days?
ああ、嫌な情報を流してやる。例えば、今お前の部屋で鼻をほじくっている。
Fine, I'll tell you everything. Even the stuff you don't want to hear. For example, he's been picking his nose and leaving boogers in your room. Huh, I wouldn't say that's something I didn't want to hear. If anything, it's just funny.
叩くんじゃねえ。冗談を言っただけだろ。
Stop hitting me, I was just kidding. Oh, is he really right here?
ああ、センスで叩いてきやがった。今はお前の隣にいるぜ。
I've got my fan.
お前から見て。
I forgot I have this. Our fan ASMR can happen again. It sounds different for you than it does for me. But it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. He's swatting me with his fan. He's really by your... He's right by your side. To your left, actually. I turned to where Koharu indicated. I obviously couldn't see him, so Yukimaro is somewhere around here. That would mean his eyes would be around here, I thought. Though invisible, I hope my eyes could meet him.
お前、すごいな。俺からしたら、見つめ合ってるように見えるぞ。
Incredible. It's like you two really are looking at each other. That thought alone was comforting. I've spent so much time with Yukimaro, I think he was about this tall. I wonder if we were still making eye contact. I want to see you, Yukimaro. If only I could turn into a spirit. Then I could be the one to enter your world. I sighed knowing how such a dream was impossible.
お前は合わせるか。
Enter his world. What is it?
いや、なんでもね。とりあえず、今日はとっとと寝ちまえ。あ、母親が心配してるから、顔見
He's
せてや
so
るよ。
sweet. It's nothing. You should hurry and get ready for bed. Also, your mom's worried about you. Make sure you check in on her. I smiled when Koharu mentioned my mom as he left the room. He's right. I shouldn't worry her. I knew I probably looked like a mess right now. I decided to wash my face before heading downstairs. After ensuring Leah had fallen asleep, I quietly left her room.
予想以上に悲しませてしまったな。
She's much more heartbroken than I expected. Really? I intended the words only for myself, but soon heard a reply.
仕方のないことなのです。きっと彼女は乗り越えると信じて見守ることしかできないですから。
It can't be helped. All we can do is hope she finds her way through this. Despite his youthful appearance, Toka was a deity. His wisdom and intellect shined through. His aura was far more noble than mine ever was, even when I was a god.
トーカ殿は彼女を長年思っているのであろう。どのようにして割り切っておるのだ。
You've cared for her a long time, isn't that right, Toka? How were you able to compartmentalize your feelings like this? I knew it was bold to ask him that. Toka was a rival for her love after all. And yet Toka responded with a smile.
僕は彼女が大好きで、それだけなのです。お返しは花から期待していませんから。
I simply love her, that's all. I never expected her to feel the same. Boy, you're too sweet. Toka, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's exactly right. Just because you love someone doesn't mean they have to love you back. That's not how that works. Don't expect it. I'll still pick it up, okay.
そこに来ると、雪丸さんはかわいそうですね。彼女の行為を知ってしまったから、欲が生まれた挙句、苦しんでいる。
For you, Yukimaro, I pity you. You know her feelings. You know she cares for you. I can only imagine how agonizing that is.
もともと神であったというのに、まるでなっていないです。それだから、あやかしになどなり下
To
がるのですよ。
think you used to call yourself a god. Look at you. You're a mess. No wonder you're nothing but a spirit now. His words hit hard. Through his smile, I could tell he was very angry. Though I suppose that makes sense. My question towards him was rather thoughtless.
ま、僕も同じ立場になればわかりませんけど。
To be honest, I'm not sure how I'd handle being in your shoes.
彼女には傷ついてほしくないですから、どうにかするです。
I know you don't want to see her
雪丸さ
suffer,
んのせいですよ。
so you better hurry up and find a solution. This mess is your fault, Yukimaro. With that, Toka disappeared. This is my fault. He was absolutely right, and I had no rebuttal. But there was a solution. It would take a great deal of time, and it would bind her. I would rather avoid that if I
もう
can.
少し様子を見るとするかの。
Just a bit longer. I need to think this through. They say love can drive you mad, and clearly I was no exception.
狂うのもいい。彼女のためならば。
I don't mind going mad, if it's for her, that is. I tossed and turned, unable to find sleep. Naturally, thoughts of Yukimaro filled my mind. Gazing at the ceiling, I replayed our moments together. The ritual the priest performed, that's how I was able to see him. It's thanks to that ritual we got to spend so much time together. I knew this experience was once in a lifetime. I wonder if anyone involved with that priest experienced something similar. That's right, the ritual. If the priest could perform it in seconds, maybe I could see Yukimaro again. But is that really okay? Of course I want to see Yukimaro, but is that really something he wants? Tomorrow morning, I'll visit the shrine and ask the priest directly. The next morning, I intended to go to school, and as soon as I was done at the shrine, so I got dressed in my uniform and headed over there. Upon entering, I saw the priest raking the ground as usual and ran up to him. Yo, my guy, good morning.
おお、これはこれは。いつぞやのお嬢さんではないですか。おはようございます。
Oh my, you're the young lady from before. Good morning to you too. He seemed to recognize me, which I realized could speed things up. Do you remember the ritual you performed for me the other day? Did it have any special powers associated with it?
ああ、あれですか。わしに力があるかどうかは自分ではわからぬのですが。
That.
そうですな。
I can't say for sure if it had any special powers associated with it or not, but.
あなたはどうだったのですかな。
But what do you think? Me?
ええ、そうです。お祓いはするものではなく、されたものの方が効果が実感できるでしょう。
Yes, with rituals like these, typically the effects are felt on the person the ritual is done to, not the other way around. You might think this is strange. I end up being able to see spirits, but it was only temporary.
なんと、それは申し訳ないことをした。ああ、なんということをしてしまったの
Oh,
か。
goodness, I apologize. I feel terrible for having done that. If only he had shown this concern earlier. Please, don't worry about that. It was truly a unique experience. It was fine. One I was grateful for. The thing is, I'd like to see those spirits again, especially one in particular. I've told myself to let go, to move on, yet I find myself looking for ways to see him again.
もう一度あの払いをして差し上げてもよいのだが、それはあなたのためにならんだろう。
I could perform the ritual again, but I'm not sure it'd be to your benefit. Why not?
人とあやかしは住まう世が違うのじゃ。どちらかがどちらかの世に寄り添わねばならん。
Mortals and spirits belong to different realms. One of you would need to adjust to the other's world. So I assume in one ending we go to the spirit world, and in the other ending he comes to the mortal world?
お嬢さんは思いを寄せているあやかしにそれを強いれるか、それと
Can
も
you?
お主があやかしの世に赴けるか。
Can you ask that of Can you ask that of the spirit you care for, young lady, or perhaps could you bring yourself to enter theirs? To be together, one of us must endure
もう
hardships.
一度会えたとしてもまた別れが来る
Even if you could see him
忘れろ。
again,
とは言わんが、折り合いをつけるのがいいだろ
you'd have to part with him once more. I'm not telling you to forget him, but perhaps it might be best to accept fate. After sharing his advice, the priest excused himself, mentioning he had chores to attend to, and disappeared behind the shrine. I know he's right. I know that. Deep down, I already knew the two of us lived in different worlds. I exited the shrine and paused, checking my phone. It's only just after 7. Because I was in such a rush, I hadn't considered what to do with all the extra time. With about an hour before school started, I decided to take a walk. I headed for the beachfront park. As I walked, my thoughts once again drifted to Yukimaro. I leaned against the beachside fence and lost myself in the view.
謝るな。
Hey, don't do anything rash now. Hearing a familiar voice, I turned to see Koharu panic-stricken, rushing towards me. He clutched my shoulders
死ん
tightly.
でも何の解決にもならねえ。そんなことするくらいなら俺が方法を。
Does he think I'm gonna kill myself? Ugh. Ending it all won't solve anything. If you're considering that, let me help you find another way. Seeing my confused expression, Koharu's face gave way to confusion. I wasn't planning on dying.
身投げしようとしてたんじゃないのか。
You weren't about to jump in the water? No, I'd never do that. Why would you think that? And how did he know I was here?
くっそ、雪丸のやつ、ぶっ殺す。
Damn that Yukimaro, I'm gonna kill him. Okay. I had just a message. I was trying to make sure what it was. Alright, what about Yukimaro?
あいつが俺に知らせてきたんだよ。我に会いたいあまり心が病んで。
You said you missed him so much you were thinking about throwing yourself in the sea. Yukimaro. I thought he knew me better than that. I guess just because he can read my aura, that doesn't mean he knows what I'm thinking. Maybe it's because I went to the shrine and asked about the ritual. And as I was walking here, I was just kinda got lost and thought maybe he got the wrong idea.
そういうことだったのか。雪丸の早とちりかよ。
Fine, I see.
勘違いでよかったぜ。
Damn, Yukimaro always jump into conclusions, but I'm glad to see he was wrong. I'm
お前
sorry.
が謝ることじゃねえ。悪いのはあのバカタレだ。
You've got nothing to apologize for. It's all that idiot's fault. Though I only gave Yukimaro a wary smile, deep down I felt somewhat reassured. Yukimaro was still looking out for me.
それで、神主からお祓いのことを聞いたのは、もう一度お願いするためか。
So you talked to the priest about the ritual, hoping he'd do it for you again, huh? Initially, I just had a few questions. I did consider it, but I just want to see Yukimaro. Deep down, I was hoping he might do it again. I just can't help but wish, you know? I thought it might work, but the priest told me he won't. I was trying to get closure, and I was only getting more confused. I wonder if it worries Yukimaro to see me like this. I let out a self-deprecating laugh. Koharu then softly muttered,
お前にあやかしを見せることはできる。
I won't lie, I like this outfit. He looks so good. I can make it possible for you to see spirits. What? My eyes widened in shock at Koharu's
昨
words.
日、お前言っただろ。今度は自分が雪丸に合わせるって。
Yesterday, you said you wanted to be the one to enter his world, right?
雪丸側で考えていて、お前の側では考えていなかった。だから、言われて気づいてな。
All this time, I've looked at things from Yukimaro's perspective. I hadn't really thought of things from your side, and I
お前
realized
をたたるっていう名目が俺にはある。
I still have to haunt you,
お前の迷惑になる術ならかけられる。
which means I can cast spells on you. Then please cast a spell on me. As long as I can see Yukimaro, I don't care what else happens to me. Koharu didn't react right away to my plea. Instead, his gaze shifted elsewhere. After a moment, he spoke.
お前は反対するだろうな。だが、こいつがこうなってるのは、
I had a
お前
feeling
の
you'd
責
say that.
任でもあるだろう。
You're part of the reason she's in this mess.
中途半端に愛するくらいなら、鼻から気持ちを隠しておくべきだった。俺ならそうする。
Just gonna half-ass that you should have kept your feelings hidden. That's what I would have done. He was clearly talking to someone I couldn't see. Yukimaro must be against the idea. Naturally, Yukimaro wouldn't want a spell that could hurt me to be cast on
悪い
me.
が俺は、こいつの意志を尊重する。お前の出番はそれからだ。
Sorry, but I'm siding with her on this one. After that, it's up to you. With that, Koharu turned his attention back
さ
to
っき
me.
の提案した術だが、雪丸が反対するほど危険なものだ。
The spell I mentioned, Yukimaro's against it because it's risky. Is it something life-threatening?
そこまでじゃないが、精神的に辛くなる可能性があってな。お前にかけるのは、別の世のものが全て見えちまう術だ。
It's not deadly, but it will be emotionally draining for you. It'll allow you to see things most mortals can't, things of the other realm. It'll be emotionally draining for you. Sounds like Radiant Tell when she turned into a dragon's bride. Other realms, you mean more than just spirits?
ああ、幽霊や化け物、悪魔なんてのも見えちまうかもしれねえ。
Yes, spirits, creatures of myth, perhaps even demons. I felt my heart skip a beat. Demons. This time I felt unable to answer right
あの
away.
二人だけが見えていたのは、お祓いに居合わせたのがあいつらだけだったからだろう。
You saw those two because they were the only spirits present at the
例え
ritual.
ば、他の者まで居合わせていたら、お前の精神はとっくに病んでいたかもしれねえ。
Had there been others, you might have been overwhelmed emotionally by all those you encountered. A chill ran down my spine. At first, I resented the priest for not casting that spell on me again, but then, now, perhaps in a way I was fortunate. Reflecting back on it, it seemed a blessing the priest hadn't repeated the ritual.
もう一度聞く。お前は俺に術をかけてほしいか？
So I'll ask you once more, do you really want me to perform the spell? I know this is a thought. Usually the thoughts don't matter, but maybe they will this time. Yes, I want you to. I blurted out the words before I knew it. Koharu slowly nodded after seeing my determination and returned to his spirit form.
いっほら、やめろって
Cut it out! What's wrong? Is that Yukimaro?
ったくどうにかしてえなら、お前自身で何とかしやがれ
You know what? If you got a problem with it, tell her yourself. Koharu shouted at where I guessed Yukimaro was and then placed his hand on my forehead. In that instant, I felt a surge flow through me. I could feel something pouring into me from Koharu's hand. My vision. Scenes flashed in and out. I felt nauseous.
いくらお前でも、俺の仕事を邪魔することは許さねえ。それにな。
I'm not backing out. This is my job. Now stop trying to get in the way. Besides,
お前は、愛した女を守れる男だろ。
I trust you'll protect the woman you love. I don't like when this is blurry because this is like my vision already. Mine doesn't have so much double vision. It's more just straight up blurry. The world spun wildly around me. My vision distorted beyond endurance, just as I thought I'd collapse. A gentle embrace steadied me.
小春恨むぞ
Koharu, damn you.
恨むならてめえを恨みやがれ。自分で蒔いた種だろうが。
Damn yourself. You're responsible now. Look after her. Could that be Yukimaro's voice? And then I lost consciousness. When I woke up, everything was white. I was somewhere unfamiliar.
起きたの？私の声が聞こえる？
Mia, can you hear me? Can you hear me? My vision was foggy but gradually became clear. Oh, Mom.
よかった。もう心配したじゃない。
I'm so relieved. I was so worried about you. I'm sorry. Confused, I apologized to my mom and started to look around. Am I in a hospital? Why? Surprised, I sat up quickly. It didn't feel like there was something wrong with me.
あなた覚えていないの？早朝に海辺で倒れていたそうよ。
You don't
雪丸さん
remember.
が発見してくれて助かったわ。
You were found collapsed by the beach earlier this morning. Thank goodness Yukimaro found you. You saw Yukimaro?
ねえあなたを病院へ運んでくれたのは雪丸さんなのよ。勤務中にこんなに驚いたことはないわ。
He's the one who had carried you to the hospital. I got a call during work. I've never been so
検
surprised.
査をしたのだけれど、どこにも異常はないようだし。一緒に帰りましょう。
The doctor examined you but found nothing wrong, so you can go home once you're ready. Okay. And now I remember. Koharu cast a spell on me, making me feel ill, and I collapsed. I thought I heard Yukimaro's voice then. Does that mean I can see people from other realms now? Am I not like other girls? When we had to sign a lot of paperwork, so by the time we arrived home, it was already late. As soon as we arrived home, Mom wanted me to go straight to bed to rest and ushered me to my room. I don't feel any different. And neither Koharu nor Yukimaro had come to visit me. Don't tell me that was all just a dream. I muttered, but there was no response. The next day at school, I immediately sensed something in me had changed. The reason... Oh, we're gonna see him. It was during our lunch break. Sayaka and I were on our way to the cafeteria. Who's that? I don't recognize him. Looking carefully, there appeared to be a man in a kimono with what looked like blood smeared around his stomach. The person beside him, dressed in modern clothes, looked noticeably pale. Could they actually be ghosts?
そういえばさ、あなたがあの喫茶店のバイトに入ったら食べに行きたいねって家族と話してて。
Once you begin your job at the cafe, I mentioned to my family that we should swing by to see you during one of your shifts. Koharu's spell at work.
ねえ、どうしたの？
What's up? Can I ask you something strange? Do you see anyone at the end of the hall, like someone in a kimono? Sayaka glanced down the hallway and shook her head.
そんな人どこにもいないよ。生徒以外には先生だけ。
No, I don't see anyone like that. Just the usual students and teachers.
ちょっと待って。まさかあなた何か見え
Wait,
るの？
hang
幽
on.
霊とか？
Can you see them? Are they ghosts? I quickly shook my head. The last thing I needed was for Sayaka to start dragging me around to haunted places. No, I was just trying to spook you. Guess that backfired. My bad.
私が怖がるわけないでしょ。幽霊に会いたいタイプの人間
As
なんだから。
if I'd get scared. I'd love to encounter real ghosts. Yep. She'd probably be jealous if I told her the truth. Man, if I keep seeing things like this, I don't know how I'm gonna hold up. Girl, you asked for this. After school, I wanted to head home with Sayaka, but she spirited off, saying she had college prep, so I was left alone in the classroom. Since I was on class duty today, I had to stay behind alone. I'm really scared. I just want to get out of the school quickly. Rushing down the stairs, I hurried past the mirror. I instantly regretted glancing in the mirror. What should have only been my own reflection instead showed a pale boy. He had something very unsettling around his neck.
許さない。
Hate, I won't forgive you. I sprinted out of the school as fast as I could. I ran with all my might through the town. The scenes blurred together. Panting, I collapsed in the living room. Once my breath eased, I noticed the silence. Being alone right now is the last thing I need. Mom said she'd be back late today. I came to the horrifying realization that I can see ghosts. But why hasn't Yukimaro showed up yet? What if Koharu's spell was flawed and now I'm stuck seeing only ghosts? The thought was terrifying. As despair took hold, I felt a tap on my shoulder. I started to scream and backed away.
これ落ち着くのだ。我だぞ。愛しの恋人であるぞ。
Hey, it's okay, it's me, your lovely, beloved lover. His voice instantly calmed me. It wasn't a ghost that appeared, but Yukimaro, the only one I'd been yearning to see. Yukimaro! My voice cracked with emotion as he pulled me into a gentle, reassuring
よ
hug.
しよし。怖い思いをしたようだな。小春の忌々しい術のせいだろう。
That must have been scary. All because of Koharu's stupid spell. Please don't be so hard on him. I was the one who asked Koharu for the
分
spell.
かっておる。そなたのせいではない。小春に散々言われたからの。東花殿にも随分と責められた。
I know it's not your fault. Koharu really let me have it. And Toka, he was pretty upset too. He tightened his embrace as he spoke. Craving the need to feel closer to him, I hugged him tightly back.
かわいいやつめ。我に会いたい一心でとんでもないことをする。困った恋人じゃ。
You are so amazing, so reckless, all because you wanted to see me. You surely are a troublesome lover.
謝
Sorry.
罪は受け付けぬ。そなたがこうまでするほど我が愛を注いでしまったのだから。
No apologies necessary. My love for you was so immense, I feared it would lead you down this path. Do you have any regrets about your feelings towards me, about everything that's happened? My voice trembled with worry, but Yukimaro firmly shook his head.
そのようなことは一切ない。我はそなたを愛せて心から嬉しいのだ。
Not at
その愛を
all.
そなたに聞かせたのも後悔はない。
I'm genuinely happy to have loved you, and I don't regret telling you how I feel either.
我らが愛し合いすぎているだけのこと。
It's just that our love for each other is so profound. Before, I would have been embarrassed to hear those words coming from him, but now I felt different. I wanted to soak up each word he said to me. I realized that this was
よい
happiness.
か。我はもう引き下がらぬ。
Listen, Leah, I will no longer back down.
た
Okay.
とえそなたを縛ることになろうとも。それでそなたを守れるのなら。
Even if it means binding you to ensure your safety. But you said before there was no way.
実はあるのだ。人とあやかしが結ばれる方法がな。
There actually is a way for a mortal and a spirit to be together. Why didn't you say so before?
そなたの心を縛る方法だからだ。永遠に我と共にあることを誓い、そなたはあやかしの嫁として
That's
死
fine.
後
This
あ
is
やかしへ
fine.
と生まれ変わる。
It involves binding your heart. You'll have to vow to be with me eternally. When you die, you'll be reborn as a spirit, as my wife. At first, I didn't understand. Wife, a spirit,
今す
me?
ぐ婚姻を交わすということだ。そして人間としての生を全うした後、そなたはあやかしとなる。
This is the most chill thing ever. She gets to live her full life first. It means marrying me now, and when your life as a mortal comes to an end, you'll become a spirit with me. Matrimony ritual. One way a spirit and mortal can be together. Once in matrimony, both parties' hearts are bound and their hearts will never stray to others. The mortal will be reincarnated as a spirit after death. Become a spirit after I die. Is that how I can be with Yukimaro? This is a rather sudden. I could hardly imagine what it would be like to die, let alone be a spirit, and marriage. That meant I'd be Yukimaro's wife, and it would have to happen immediately. Why are you suggesting this now?
そなたを縛り付けてしまうゆえ、この方法は取りたくなかったのだ。だが、その瞳にかけられた術を解くために必須でな。
I hesitated because it involves such a deep commitment. I didn't want to resort to it before, but with the spell, I think it might be necessary. Is it possible to reverse the spell?
そなたの夫となれば、相手が人間であれ、力を注ぐ名目ができる。妻を守るためというな。
I'm confused, but we're gonna keep going. As your husband, I'd have a legitimate reason to use my powers to protect you. The way he said wife. Sorry, protect you, my wife. The way he said wife just a moment ago seemed like it was the word used to describe someone else, but now the word struck deep. Despite my confusion, Yukimaro reached out and gently caressed my
この
cheek.
ような瞳でいれば、必ずやそなたは苦しむことになる。死者を目にして正常であれる人間はいない。
If you continue to have these powers, it'll take a toll on you. No mortal can stay sane while seeing the dead. Well, I had already gotten a taste of that from when I was at school. Being alone. Being alone. I got lost. Being alone in the school after Sayaka left was one of the most terrifying things I'd ever experienced. I understood why both Yukimaro and Koharu had tried to talk me out of this spell. They didn't want me to have to endure this.
こうも思うのだ。そなたの心を縛り付けてしまうのはいかがなものだろうかと。
There's one thing that troubles me. Is it really right for you to bind your heart to mine?
我と婚姻を結べば、そなたは生涯他の者と結ばれることはない。
Marrying me
独り身で
means
過ごさせてしまう。
you could never wed another. You'd be forced to live your life in
さら
solitude.
に、あやかしへの転生も決定してしまう。それが、そなたにとって良いものなのか。
And then you turn into a spirit. I question if that's really fair to you. Yukimaro has his doubts about this route too. I was glad to know he cared about me and was willing to consider all the possibilities. I didn't want to let go of him, but marriage, that's a big step. Now I'll marry you. It's after we die. I get to live a full life. It's fine. Yeah, yeah. That's okay with me. Yukimaro, I'd like to marry you. Saying it out loud made me flush scarlet.
本当に良いのか。
Are you certain? Yeah. I can't imagine loving any person, and I mean loving any person or spirit like I love you. Confessions made me feel shy, but Yukimaro pulled me into a
あ
tight
りがとう。
embrace.
このような決断をさせてしまって、何と言ったら良いのやら。
Thank you, Leah. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry I forced you to make such a choice. I should be apologizing to you. I ignored your wishes when I asked Koharu to cast that spell on me. Not only did you forgive me, you saved me. After all, this is because I asked Koharu to put that spell on me. Are you really okay with marrying me, Yukimaro? I mean, I know you're doing it to protect me, but...
良いに決まっておる。このような流れになってしまったが、心から嬉しくて仕方ないのだ。
It's okay. Despite how we came to this conclusion, I couldn't be happier with that
そ
result.
なたと夫婦になれるなんて夢のようじゃ。再会できるのは先になるが、 それは些細なこと。
To be married to the one I love, it's like to take time to. It will take time to reunite, but that's like a grain of sand on the scale of eternity. I'm glad to hear. Wait, we're gonna reunite later. I gently push Yukimaro back to question him. What do you mean it'll take time to reunite?
決まっておる。そなたの死後に再び会うのだ。そなたと婚姻を結んだ後、我が瞳にかけられた術を解く。
Obviously, after your life ends, once the two of us are married, I'll remove the spell that allows you to see those from other realms. I felt
そう
uneasy.
すれば、そなたは元通りになるのだ。別の世のものが見えなくなるゆえ、我の姿もまた視界から消える。
Afterwards, you'll go back to being normal. You won't see otherworldly beings, so I'll also become invisible to you. If I live to about 80, I won't see you for another 64, 65 years.
そうなる。まあ、時が経つのなんてあっという間じゃ。
That's right, but don't worry, time passes by in a flash. The thought of such a lengthy separation made me feel dizzy, but Yukimaro had mentioned this before. Marrying me means that you could never wed another. You'd be forced to live your life in solitude. Apparently, it was true. I'd literally be alone. If we just stay as we are now, then all I need to do is get used to seeing ghosts, right?
そうだが、まさか我と婚姻を結ぶのが嫌になったのか。
Yeah, but wait, you're not reconsidering getting married, are you? No, that's not it at all. I really can't bear the thought of not seeing you for so long. I mean, I just have to get used to it, right?
何を言う。今日学校であんな目にあっておいて。
What are you thinking? Remember what happened at school? Huh? How do you know about that? Don't tell me. You wanted me to experience how frightening things could be, didn't you?
だってそなたはそうでもしなければわからぬだろう。
It's because you need to see for yourself what it's like. His point was valid, and I wasn't sure what to
ま
say.
だ迷いがあるようじゃな。
You
そ
seem
なたには
unsure.
選ぶ権利がある。
You're free to choose. Please think it over carefully. This must have be from his form of kindness. I'm glad he's at least letting me choose. Thank you. I do need some time to think.
その間は我も共に学校についていくし、常にそばにいよう。
Of
悪しき者
course.
から守らねばな。
Meanwhile, I'll be by your side, escorting you to school and protecting you from evil. But what about your duty as a guardian spirit?
我はそなたの方が
For me,
大事なの
you
だ。
are more of a priority. Seeing his expression, I felt my heart grow cold. His smile looked so pained. Raid, hi! Hello! Hello, Rosaline. How are you? How was your stream? What did you play? I keep forgetting what that raid sound is, by the way. I was like, what is this? Good, good, good so far. Oh my goodness. Welcome, welcome. There are things I need to learn, and that is how to shout out people. I'm so sorry. This was all my fault. I was the reason for his pain. If I kept thinking that way, kept things the way they are now, he'd have to bind himself to me. Despite his role as someone who wanted to bring joy to others. We played 9 R.I.P. Saya's route. Oh, nice. That's gonna be we're 2 routes away from that. We're doing Yukimaro's, and then we're gonna be doing Koharu's, and then we're gonna be doing Saya's, and I'm saving my husband for last. So, but then we have to do Toka, but I like Toka. I was told it's a really good route. I'm really excited to get to it. I always play in order from least excited to most excited, so that's why he's so long on the list. At night, I stayed close, watching Leah sleep. Oh, he's stalking me. I didn't mean to frighten her, yet I knew I'd put her through a lot. It pained me to see her alone, but he's worth it so far. Good. I'm excited. My goal is, because it's almost December, and this is that time of year where I can't stream as much, that I can finish 9 R.I.P. before the end of the year, and Verche, because I started Verche as well. Dreams. I have dreams. She needs to see the gravity of her situation. I wanted her to grasp the terror of ghosts, to understand the danger of living her life with that sight. Oh, I do the same, but I'm doing the recommended route. See, I just like to surprise myself. I I don't know. Like, I'll do what I think is right first, and then I go back through and I'll use guides, but I'm maybe someday. We're gonna do Pio4 or the Colorix Malice Fandus next, so I could try a recommended route, maybe. This one actually was not the one where I was supposed to do next. I was supposed to do Koharu first, but people kept telling me Yukimaro wasn't good, but I like him just fine. I think he's great. I think he's cute. He's friendly. However, even if Leah decided to live that way, there was still another path. I also try to avoid spoilers, so if I read recommended too soon, I'll get nervous. Pio4 is cool. I've been told good things, and the MC in that one is so pretty. I'm really excited for it. If I were to reveal to her, I fear she would feel guilty and force herself to marry me.
どんなことがあっても
I thought the game would be. It
そなたを守るぞ
presented itself as it was gonna have like jump scares and stuff. The School Ghost Stories one, like the one where you're in the not School Ghost Stories. No, it is School Ghost Stories. That one they made it sound like it was gonna be the scariest one. I did jump one point, but that was just like a 1 second scene and that was it. I thought they'd throw some more jump scares in at me. I don't know. Maybe I'm numb to jump scares. I know a couple people told me they felt like they got scared in it. I'm like, I'm fine. No matter the outcome, I pledge to keep you safe, even if it costs me my role as a guardian spirit. Boy, boy. Oh no. And am I getting the bad ending? Actually, you always get the bad ending when you choose the right answer. The next morning, when I awoke to see Yukimaro nearby, I felt joy unlike any I'd felt in a long while. My heart wasn't fully at ease. I kept thinking about our future. Before I was sad about not being able to have a future with him, but now it was the opposite. Do I marry him only to reunite after death, or keep my sight living as before with him by my side? I wanted to marry him, that felt right, but the decades of living apart made me waver. Sometimes you gotta wait like 60 years to get with the person you're in love with. It's fine. I'm off. Leaving home, Yukimaro was there as usual, waiting outside. Toka, Koharu, you're here too. Seeing the others standing beside Yukimaro, I blinked in
お
surprise.
はよう待っておったぞ
Good
今日から
morning.
また一緒に登校じゃ
I'm fine with this because I keep complaining about this because it's like, oh, I'm gonna die now so I can be with this guy. It's so Twilight, it hurts. Waiting to die is fine. Or, I don't know, just getting with a guy who's actually not dead is great. If you know, you know, am I right? Alright, good morning. We've been waiting for you. Let's head to school together like old times.
またあなたとこうして会話できるなんて
Toka is my biggest fan. I love him so much. It feels surreal to be able to chat with you again like this. I'm happy
俺
too.
は術の調子を見に寄ってみただけだ。お前のことはもう語り終えたからな。
I love you too, Koharu. I'm just here to check up on my spell. I'm done haunting you, okay? Right. My spirit board curse has been lifted. It all felt a little bittersweet. Koharu had been looking out for me the whole time. Koharu, you never really haunted me. You've been nothing but
そ
helpful.
の瞳に術をかけてもか後々になって恨むなよ。
You sure about that? Even after that eye spell, you better not hold a grudge later. I will, and it's exactly what I asked for.
恋人の我を無視して会話するでない
Don't ignore your boyfriend. I'm here too, remember? Sorry, it's just so nice being able to see everyone again. We had a serious conversation last night, so I was anxious to see Yukimaro today. I was so glad to see he was his normal self. I love long hair boys. Same. Same. I'm so... long hair is a... I usually save long hair boys for last. Minami is special though, because he's voiced by... I forgot his name, and that's why he's special to me. Even if they ruined him in the Cupid fan disc, I still love him. Every once in a while, I thought I saw the same pained smile he wore before rising to the surface. What should I do? What do I want to do? Let him be a guardian spirit, bro. I bid farewell to Toka and Koharu outside the school, and since then, Yukimaro had been guarding me in his spirit form. Before I knew it, school wrapped up and Yukimaro and I left the campus together. He had switched back into his mortal form. I couldn't stop feeling guilty about him having to continuously switch back and forth. By the way, the cafe owner called with my official work schedule. Thank you for subscribing.
ほう、それは楽しみじゃな。そなたの働く姿が。
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. That's great. I'm looking forward to seeing you at. Suddenly, Yukimaro cut off mid-sentence. His face turned serious and his whole body seemed to tense up. What's wrong?
あ、いや、なんでもない。
It's nothing. Despite his words, it was obvious something was wrong. Something like this happened before. I gasped. I couldn't forget that moment.
そなたも我のように。
Oh, nice. All of the emotes. Yay. Honestly, I love these so much. They're so cute. You should be like me and... I felt Yukimaro's head jolt in mine. He showed an expression like this.
そばを離れても構わぬか。
He looks so good in... Yeah, this outfit's good on him. He looks good in his normal clothes. I think Kohari looks really good in his like street clothes. I think Toka is precious. I'm so excited. May I step out for a moment? That's right. He got... Afterwards, Yukimaro said he was called by the Guardian Spirit Society and had to leave. Did the society call you again?
そんなことはないぞ。ちょっとぼやっとしていただけなのだ。
That's not it. I just zoned out. It was easy to tell when Yukimaro was lying. Yukimaro, let's get married right now. My mind had been leaning towards that decision. I couldn't get his pained smile out of my mind.
急にどうしたというのだ。しかもこんなところで。
Could you imagine? Like, we're just gonna get married in front of my school uniform. Let's go. You look like a college student, and I am definitely a minor. Why all of a sudden and here of all places? My feelings for you are overflowing. I love you from the bottom of my heart. That was my honest truth. Though it was hard to think of being apart from him, we'd meet again after I died. So I was ready to say goodbye to the sight that had been cast on me.
我を侮ってもらっては困る。無理をしているとわかるぞ。
Leah, I don't want you to do this for me. I can tell you're forcing yourself. So are you, Yukimaro. You've been neglecting your guardian spirit duties to look after me.
そんなことはない。今はその
Also, we've been playing for 2 hours. We went through an entire chapter. We haven't had a CG in a whole chapter. The heck? That's not true. I'm taking a sabbatical. He really is terrible at lying. I can manage walking home alone. Please go see the society.
やだ。我はそなたを守ると決めておる。家に着くまで、いや、着いてからもずーっとそばにいるのだ。
I can't do that. I've chose to protect you. I'll stay with you until you're home safe. No, even after we get there. That's sweet, but I don't want to cause you any more trouble. Please try to
負担
understand.
などではない。大切なそなたを守れていることこそ我にとって幸福なのだ。
You're not trouble. Protecting you, the one I love, it brings me joy. You're not gonna go back down, are you?
そうなったこそ。
You won't either. Sparks flew between us. Why are we even fighting? I didn't want to argue with him, but neither of us was willing to back down. Just kiss him. That's an answer. No, wait, why are we home now? The silence lasted all the way home, turning into a quiet standoff as we reached the house.
ゆきまろさんと喧嘩したです。
Why is this the song? Did something happen with Yukimaro? Could you tell?
だって、ゆきまろさん、半べそ書いてるです。あと、バカってつぶやいているです。
Yukimaro's been moping around grumbling you're a fool, Leah?
ほんと子供みたいに純粋で、座敷わらしにぴったりです。
He's as innocent as a child, perfect for a guardian spirit. Is that typical for guardian
座敷
spirit?
わらしになるには面接があるです。どんなあやかしにもなれるものではなくて、必須の条件があるです。
To be a guardian spirit, there's a selection process. Not all spirits qualify. They need to meet a certain criterion.
それは、子供のように純粋な心であること。
A childlike purity of heart is a must. That suits Yukimaro perfectly.
ですです。ちょっとアホなところもあるですけど、それが座敷わらしなのです。
You might be a bit naive, but that's all part of being a guardian spirit. Guardian Spirit Society 2. Joining the organization requires going through an interview. Additional requirements include having a heart as pure as a child. They say that acceptance rate is very low.
純粋に人を思い、純粋に幸福を願う。 そこに余計な感情は一切ないです。
They genuinely want the best for others, without any selfish feelings for their own.
あなた
However,
にはそうもいかないみたいです。
with you, he seems different. Maybe Toka's onto something. When it came to me, Yukimaro always pushed. He hid his sorrows and would sacrifice himself for me. Thank you so much, Toka. I might not see you again, but I'll always remember you.
あなたからのお別れの言葉はもうもらってるですから。いら
You've
ないです
already
よ。
said your goodbye to me. No need to do it again. Oh, the night when I suddenly couldn't see them anymore, I whispered goodbye to him. He was listening. Even if I can't see them, it's nice to know they're still around. In that moment, Toka helped me realize something crucial. I hope you'll keep watching over me. Smiling, I made my request and Toka smiled back. I needed to have a long conversation with Yukimaro, and it would probably be our last one. I found Yukimaro and gently led him to the secluded spot for us to talk alone. Whoa, on the way here, I saw an idol who passed away. He was walking around smiling like everything was normal, but I knew it would likely be the last time I'd see spirits like that.
どうしたというのだ。このような場所まで連れてきよ
We're
うって。
gonna get married by this priest over here, and then you're gonna undo the spell so you can be a guardian spirit and I won't see ghosts and you won't be worried about me anymore. What's the matter? Why'd you bring me here? I thought this would be the perfect place to say goodbye to you.
もう話はついたはずじゃ。そなたが無理をしているのならまだ決めなくても。
We've discussed this already. If you're pushing yourself, you don't need to decide now. I'm not pushing myself. My voice suddenly shook. I was panicking a little inside, but I tried my best not to let it show. I did break eye contact with him. I did not break eye contact. Yukimaro, let's get married.
もう良いのだ。そのような気を放っていて婚姻を結ぶと言われても信じられぬ。
It's okay. You don't have to worry. How could I take your request for marriage seriously when you're emitting such an aura? That's not fair. Yukimaro gave me a bitter smile and stepped
無理
closer to
に
me.
表情を作らなくていい。無理に言葉を作らなくていい。
You don't have to force a smile for me. No need to search for the perfect
そなた
word.
が素直であれることが我の願いなのだから。
All I want is for you to be honest with me. You're holding back too. I know you're struggling when got summoned by the guardian spirit society. And besides, just yesterday, when I decided to keep my eyes as they are, you smiled, but it was strange.
気づいておったか。我に隠し事は向いていないらしい。
So you noticed. I suppose I can't keep anything from you. With that, Yukimaro sighed and seemed willing to open up to me.
そなたがその瞳のまま我と共にあることを願うならそれでいいのだ。ただ常にそばにいないと不安で仕方ない。
If you truly wish to keep your eyes this way, to stay by my side, I'm okay with it. I just worry about not being there for you.
だから我は座敷わらし教会を抜けそなただけのあやかしとなろう。
No. I decided to leave the Guardian Spirit Society and become your personal spirit guide. I had a feeling he might say that. It still pained me. I didn't know much about spirits, but I knew how much Yukimaro enjoyed bringing happiness to people. No, I can't take your joy of making other people happy from you. It was the truth, and yet I selfishly wanted him to stay by my side. Please, let's go through with the marriage. I can't bear the thought of being apart. I hate the idea of not being able to see him for decades. My pleas was a mix of genuine concern for him and my own selfish desires. My heart ached. Yukimaro's fingers gently caressed my cheek. I was unaware of my own tears, and as he tenderly wiped them away.
我はそなたのそばにあれることこそ幸福なのだ。それに言うたであろう。
Being with you is my happiness. Haven't I always said that?
我はそなたの座敷わらし。どこへでもついてゆくぞ。
I'm your guardian spirit. I will follow you wherever you go. I'm sorry. Why did I have to fall so deeply in love with him? Because I made the right choices. Why am I so overwhelmed with these emotions? Because I made the right choices.
我も同じなのだ。
I don't know if I made the right choices.
もうとっくに狂うておる。
Leah, I feel the same way. I'm crazy about you. His expression was joyful, illuminated by a broad smile. He transformed into a spirit form. Then he grasped my hand like he did once before. It was like when we first
我
met.
が名はユキマロ。あやかしとして そなたに幸福をもたらすものにございます。
I am Yukimaro. As a spirit, my purpose is to ensure the happiness of Leah Ishiki in this realm.
我は今日から汝だけのあやかしとなりましょう。
And from this day forth, I'll be your personal guardian
こ
spirit.
の時、この言葉をもって
At
正
this
式な
moment,
宣
with
言
these
と
words,
す
I make a formal declaration. It was nearly the same declaration as the first time we met, though slightly different. My personal spirit. Yukimaro wore his carefree smile from before and
と
gazed at
い
me.
うわけでよろしく頼むぞ。我だけの愛しい主様。
Oh, what do you say? I'm at your service, my beloved master. His smile was aching. I took a deep breath and slowly opened my mouth. I cannot vow it now, but even after death, I will be with you. To marry and to be reincarnated as a spirit, not just in life, but to love each other even after death. After I told him that, Yukimaro finally showed me a genuine smile. From then on and forever, I wanted to be happy to see his smile would never fade. For Yukimaro, the one who found comfort in the joy of others. Is that over? Is that the end? That was the end? No. No, 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 that's not. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible? I can spell. I can spell. I can spell. My nails are just long. A month had passed since then. As I began working at the cafe, I developed an interest in baking. Every Sunday, Koharu would visit and teach me how to cook. Toka spent his days explaining the importance of letting life's challenges shape me. I messed this up. Then one day,
主様、ここがベストポジションなのだ。シートを敷いておいたぞい。
Master, this spot is perfect. I laid out a picnic blanket for us. Thank you so much. I made sure to bring lunch.
はい、甘味ももちろんあるのだろうな。
I sure hope you brought some dessert. Of course, I turned the custard pudding into a parfait. Let's enjoy it after we eat. I had a lunch date with Yukimaro. Lately, our days have been spent like this, with him tasting the dishes I've cooked up. You can't start with desserts.
甘いもの好きとしては順番など気にしないのだ。
For those of us who love sweets, the order doesn't really matter. It's the first CG we've had the whole game. They look cute though. I like that she has a collar on. I wish they had her on the side. I want to see her like over there. Or even here. I'd move the camera. We have two bases for that reason. It matters to me. Here, try this. The fried chicken turned out pretty good.
確かに美味しい。
Oh, you're right. It's delicious. I think I got that, but how about we continue talking after you finish chewing? Since then, our daily routine hasn't changed much. After Yukimaro left the Guardian Spirit Society to become my personal spirit, I felt quite guilty. Yukimaro insisted I shouldn't feel bad, reminding me it was his choice. Despite that, I've been thinking of a way for him to be able to return to his role as a Guardian Spirit. Look who's here, it's Sina! I waved at a ghost friend of mine, Sina the idol, yet he seemed to have forgotten me again and waved with a puzzled look on his face. Is something wrong?
いつの間に仲良くなったのだ。あれは幽霊ではないか。
Hey, when did you become so friendly with him? He's a ghost, you know. Sina isn't the only one. I've also started talking to Mary Mary, the urban legend, and Kata Kata, one of the 7 wonders of our school.
仲良くなってしまうとは。主様は恐ろしいの。
You befriended them? Master, you're really something. I found that once you get to know them, some ghosts are actually very kind. I'm not as scared of them anymore. I can manage on my own at school now. I think we can return to the Guardian. You can return to the Guardian Spirit Society. I'll be okay. You don't need to stay with me constantly.
そのように考えてくれていたとは感涙である。
I had no idea you felt that way. I'm so deeply moved. He didn't seem touched. If anything, he was
で
laughing.
も、もう遅いのだ。我はそなたのそばにいることこそ幸福だと感じてしまったのだからな。
It's too late for that. I realized that my happiness lies in being by your side. But
そなたが悪いのだぞ。我をここまで夢中にさせおって。
It's all because of you, Leah. You've made me fall so deeply in love with you.
今はそなたから離れることなど考えられぬ。片時も離れたくないのだ。
I
だ
can't
から
bear
そ
the
のよ
thought
うな
of
気
being
を使わ
apart
なく
from
ても
you.
いい。
There's no need to feel guilty.
とそばにいさせてくれ。たとえそなたが亡くなった後も幽霊であるそなたの傍らにいたいのだ。
Leah, let me stay by your side, and after your death, when you are a ghost, I want to be with you. It was amazing to me just how much he loved me. I loved him too, even more than
そ
before.
なたを愛しすぎて怖いくらいでな。だから他の者とあまり仲良くするでない。嫉妬でどうにかなりそうなのだぞ。
I love you so much it's almost frightening, so don't get too close to others. I might get overwhelmed with by jealousy. Okay, I'll be careful. So we lived our happy lives together, each day filled with warmth and joy. Though to ensure Yukimaro never felt jealous, I found myself giving him even more of my love so that this joy could last forever. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go Heavenly End. Okay, Heavenly End. Okay, we're gonna go back to chapter 8. Watch me go.
主様だけの座敷わらしとなってそれだけで幸福なのだ。これからは主様を独り占めにできるわけ。
This is one of the features I like. This doesn't disappear.
共にやりたいことがたくさんあっての。
I'm happy to be able to be your personal
こなしていこう。
guardian spirit. That means I get
大好きなのだぞ。
you all to myself. There are so many things I'd like to do with you. Let's do each of them together. I love you, Master. Okay, we're gonna go back to this choice. I just want to see. I don't want you to. My voice trembled as I closed my eyes. I hope this was the right decision. Part of it was I lacked courage, but I also knew Yukimaro was against it. He may have been against it, but the real reason was that I was simply too weak.
そうか。少し安心したぜ。
I see. I'm somewhat relieved you decided against it because it's dangerous.
それもあるが、術をかけてもお前が幸せになるとは限らない。たたるって名目でお前の望みを叶えるだけ。
Let's just live with Koharu. Yes and no. There's no guarantee you would have been happier, and my haunting of you would have merely been my granting your
お
wish.
前なら、いや、お前らなら、その術さえも乗り越えて幸せになれるんじゃねえか。
That said, there's another part of me that hoped you would be able to overcome the effects of the spell and be
そう
happy.
勝手に思っていたんだ。
At least that's what I hoped. Koharu? Meeting his gaze, I conveyed my gratitude, hoping he understood my feelings. I really appreciate how much you considered my feelings. Thank you.
何言ってやがる。たたるにはどうしたらいいかって考えていて、たまたま思いついただけだ。
What are you thanking me for? I was just considering how I could haunt you. It was a coincidence, that's all. His perpetual lack of candor made me laugh. My longing to see Yukimaro won't fade, but I don't have the courage to do what needs to actually. Whew, that was a lot. I don't have the courage to do what's needed to actually see him. I'll embrace the joy he's given me and forge ahead with my life.
ああ、それがいい。雪丸も喜ぶだろうよ。
Sounds like a good plan. I'm sure Yukimaro would appreciate that. His words coaxed a genuine smile from me. And at last, I felt I got a little closure, but because I had gotten the results I wanted, not because I'd got the results I wanted, but because through their reminder, I have dyslexia. My brain does this a lot. Not because I had gotten the results I wanted, but because though there had been a path, I had chosen not to take it. Kept adding letters. I do that a lot. It's time to shift my focus from Yukimaro and back to my future. Gazing at the sea, I whispered, "Goodbye, Yukimaro." Just then, the wind picked up, and I thought I heard his voice. Half a year had passed since then. Just a few days after our conversation, Koharu haunted me and then departed, he cast a spell so that I would never see another spirit as long as I lived. He said it was because I might find trouble after the haunting, but I knew he was trying to protect me from wondering if I could see Yukimaro again. And so I didn't fight it, I embraced my new life. The day I experienced with the three of them would stay near and dear to my heart. I let go of any hope for Yukimaro. I knew that he would want me to move on and live. Then,
一色さん、学校が決まったんだってね。おめでとう。これ、お店からね。
Ishiki, I heard you chose your school. Congratulations, this treat is on the house. The owner then presented me with a massive parfait. Thank you so much. I've never seen a parfait this big. I continued to work at the cafe, learning in the kitchen, and even trying my hands at making some sweets for the shop. It was my time there that inspired me to become a pastry chef and enter the vocational school.
専門学校に通ってからも、うちでのアルバイトは続けてくれるんだよね。
You're gonna keep working here while you're going to school, right? Absolutely. I have so much more to learn here. I wouldn't even think about quitting.
ありがたいよ。ゆくゆくはここで修行するかもね。
That's what I like to hear. Who knows? Maybe we could open a pastry shop here with you at the helm. I'll do my best. Being a pastry chef here at my favorite cafe, that would be a real dream come true. I've got to do my
さあ、
best.
休憩時間もあまりないし、パフェを食べたらまたよろしくね。
Our break is almost over, but take your time. Just come back when you finish that parfait. Got it. I'll eat quickly. After the owner left, I savored a spoonful of the large parfait. This makes me so happy. This table, this is where I sat with Yukimaro that time we had a parfait together. I was filled with joy. All this was thanks to the three of them, Koharu, Toka, and Yukimaro. The unfriendly spirit board. The god who always worried about me, and my cherished guardian spirit. My feelings for Yukimaro never faded. Perhaps if I become a spirit after I die, I'll be able to meet him again. I clung to this tender hope. I love you, Yukimaro. I mumbled, bringing another spoonful of cream to my mouth. Huh? It seems like there's less cream now. Could it be Yukimaro? No, that's silly. That's just silly. He wouldn't eat my food. A snack. I should add that here. All right, now I have a curiosity. Okay. We're going to do this, but we're going to change the other option. Hang on. Isn't there another way?
そうじゃな。この方法はそなたにとって負担でしかない。
I get it. It's too much of a burden on you.
別の方法を考えるのもいいか。
Perhaps there is another way. He smiled, seemed strained, his voice tinged with sadness. I feel like I'm causing him worry because of my selfish decision. Perhaps we should get married, but are you truly okay with it, Yukimaro, being bound to me, I
い
mean?
いも何もこれしか方法はないのだ。それにどんな形であれ、そなたと共にあれるのなら幸せじゃ。
Honestly, there's no alternative, but regardless, the fact that I get to be with you makes me happy.
まあ、再会できるのは先になるが、それも些細なこと。
It'll take time to reunite, but that's likely a grain of sand on the scale of eternity. Curious, curious, curious. It's the same ending with that choice? She didn't say yes to marrying him. Weird, 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 weird. Test ending failure. Alright. We're gonna go to the last save. This should be the godly end. We assume. We assume. Alright, we're gonna go to Memo Rays instead, and then we're going to go to... I lied. We're gonna go to episodes, and then we're gonna go to here, and then we're gonna go over to oh. Okay, never mind. And then we're gonna make it low. That's right, we got low affection now. Something different has to happen, right? Right? Oh shoot. It's fine, we're low, it's fine. Should be fine, we'll save over that. We'll save over the previous one that already had this. Yeah, sure, do it. Do it. Make me see Ghost. Okay, we don't want the affection to go up because we're trying to get the godly end. Alright, no more unnecessary words. I'll just tell him. I should be able to do it now. I took a deep breath and reached out my hand towards Yukimaro. Yukimaro, please marry me. I was nervous, but my words came out smoothly. I even assured myself. It was at that moment I realized it was what I truly wanted. Leah. Yukimaro stared blankly at me, surprised, and then began to blush. I've come to realize that not being able to see you doesn't mean we're separated. Our hearts are in the same place. That's why I'll be fine even if I can't feel your presence while I'm alive. You promise to keep loving me, right?
当たり前なのだ。そなたのことを思わない日はない。そなたもであろう。
Of course I will. There won't be a day when I won't think of you. You feel the same way, right? Yes, exactly.
どうやら今のそなたには嘘偽りはないようじゃな。
I can tell your words come from the bottom of your heart. Yukimaro took my hand. I was overcome with a deep sense of nostalgia. It was like the first day we met. But this time he was offering his other hand to me.
そなたも我の手を取ってほしい。
I want you to take my hand. Let's perform the marriage vows now.
婚姻の儀をする。
Okay, but is it okay to do it in your mortal form?
構わぬ。我らの心が揃っていることが大切なのだ。
That doesn't matter. What's important is our hearts are aligned. Hearts aligned. I like that.
大事なことなのだぞ。片恋ではあやかしと人間の婚姻は成立しないのだからな。
Okay. There was an anime I watched, or was it just a cartoon? Oh no. Was it a cartoon? So there was a story I watched. It was animated. I think. Was it animated? Oh gosh. This is my memory, by the way. I remember this part specifically though, where there was a door, not a door, a gateway that you would walk through. And if two people had equal feelings for each other, they would pass through it and they'd be like blessed. And there was this one person who like stayed there because she had walked through it with her partner and her partner evaporated because your feelings aren't the same, they go away. And so she stayed there and she's watched like hundreds of couples go through this thing and it never works out. And in the story, one person goes through and it works out. I just can't remember which story it was. It was very interesting. The concept was interesting. And it usually had to do, because it was like, I swear it was an anime or something like that, animated. I don't think it was live action. But it was basically, it involved space and different planets and different creatures. And so when two different aliens of different species fell in love, they had to walk through this. Was it Sailor Moon? Am I thinking of Sailor Moon? I can't. I'll Google it later. We will have an answer. Anyways, it's very important. If the emotions is one-sided, then the ties between a spirit and a human won't materialize. Like that. I suddenly pictured Sailor Moon when I said it. Was it Sailor Moon? Sounds like we're all set. I know we can make it work.
そ のように可愛らしいことを言われると、
If you say such
お
adorable
別れが惜
things,
しくなるではないか。
you'll make our parting even more difficult. I know, I feel the same. But I've come to terms with it. Even though it'll be a long time before I can see you again, it won't be too painful. I'll have something to look forward to.
ぎゅっとしたいが、夫婦となるのが先じゃな。
As much as I'd like to embrace you now, let's tackle the marriage vow first. Hearing that, I nervously took Yukimaro's hand. Yukimaro did the same. So many hands. He gently pressed his lips on my hand.
我、雪丸は、汝を永遠に愛し、夫婦となることを宣言する。
I, Yukimaro, take you, Leah, to be my partner evermore. I vow to love you for eternity. He eyed me, signaling it was my turn. I slowly repeated, I, Leah Ishiki, take you, Yukimaro, to be my partner evermore. I vow to love you for eternity.
我は、人間であるそなたを見守り、あやかしに転生したときは、片時も離れぬ。いつまでも愛し合い、互いを思いやろう。
I will watch over you while you are mortal. When you are reincarnated as a spirit, I will never leave your side. We will love each other forever. While I'm mortal and even after becoming a spirit, you will always be in my heart. I love you, Yukimaro. Aww.
先に言われてしまったか。
You beat me to it. With that, Yukimaro blushed and said with the biggest
愛
smile,
しているぞ。
I love you! I made some sound bites already from this. I know I did that one. Okay. Yeah, I did that one too. Okay, great. We're fine. After he said that, just as he said he would, he embraced me tightly. Tighter than ever before. It was almost suffocating. I responded by hugging him back just as fiercely. This warmth, this sensation, I'll remember it all. Yukimaro, I love you. Once more I whispered the words in my heart, and as if he heard them, he suddenly smiled. He smiled, the source of my happiness. His very existence was the source of my happiness. We could still stalk her. We could still show up. You could still be here. I hit the wrong one. I do that sometimes. I saw it and went, no. After completing the ritual with Yukimaro, I expected the spell cast on me to lift immediately, but it didn't. He remained by my side. There was a reason for that.
急ぐです。こんな時間に家を抜け出したことが母上にバレたら大変です。
Hurry, hurry! If your mother finds out you snuck out at this hour, you'll be in big trouble. Slow down, don't worry. My mom's working the late shift
で
today.
も姉上がいるじゃないですか。やっぱりバレたら大変です。
But what about your
深
sister?
夜1時なんですよ。
We'll be in big trouble if you get caught. It's already past 1 a.m. Once my sister falls asleep, she doesn't wake up until morning. We'll be fine. Toka rushed and pulled me by my hand, caught because Yukimaro and I were to have a wedding ceremony. After we completed our matrimony ritual, Toka, who had been watching from the shadows, came out crying. We're gonna throw a ceremony. I want to see Leah in a dress, and he was insistent. Seeing how emotional he became was almost like a father wanting to give away his daughter. Oh. We arrived at the area overlooking the beach and Koharu waved us over. I ran up to him and Koharu's eyes widened in
着る
surprise.
ものが変わると、随分見え方が違ってくるな。
I guess it's true. You look really different depending on what you wear. Is that supposed to be a compliment?
まあな。しかし、お前が花嫁になるとはな。
Sort of, but man, I never thought I'd see you dressed as a bride. We'll see what happens in your route, Koharu. Truthfully, I felt the same way. We're going to part ways soon, so I didn't really feel like I'm getting married. Is Yukimaro not here
も
yet?
うすぐ来るとは思うんだが。つうか、なんでこんな夜中なんだよ。昼間でもいいだろう。
You should be here soon, but why are we doing this in the middle of the night again? We should have done this in the afternoon. When people were here?
昼間にやったら変でしょう。彼女はまだ高校生なんですよ。それに僕たちだって あやかし姿の方がいいです。
Doing it in the afternoon would be odd. She's still in high school. And besides, it's better for us to be in spirit form. Toka had a point. If we did this in the afternoon, we'd certainly have an audience. Yukimaro, who took some time getting ready, finally arrived and our simple ceremony began. Toka acted as the officiant, leading us through the vows, and the rest of the ceremony we did as we were told.
それでは誓いの口づけを。
Now you may seal your vows with a kiss. It's so pretty. Ah, his hair is pulled back. Oh my gosh. I love this. What the heck? She's so pretty. Oh my goodness. Despite me feeling embarrassed after kissing in front of Koharu and Toka, Yukimoto didn't hesitate. He kissed me unbothered by their presence.
綺麗です。ああ、お嫁に行ってしまうなんて。
Yeah, you're so pretty. I can't believe you're married
お
now.
前、こいつの父親かよ。
What are you, her dad? Despite us being in the middle of our kiss, hearing their back and forth made me laugh. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, it's just that you guys' conversation was too funny for me. At least Yukimaro didn't seem to mind. He stared at me in a happy daze. I have to get going. Have a good stream. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
そなたが美しすぎて眩しい。
I'm so happy I could die. You're so gorgeous. It's blinding me. Nothing about Yukimaro had changed. He wasn't trying to be cool or suave or on our wedding day. He was just honest like always. And you're looking exceptionally handsome today, Yukimaro.
そうだろうそうだろう。晴れの日だからの。いろいろと考えて準備したのだ。
Oh, yes, I do, don't I? It's a special day after all. I put a lot of thought into how I was going to look. Toka was the one who suggested we have a wedding, but it seemed Yukimaro appreciated the
今
effort.
は我とそなたの着ているものがちぐはぐであるように別々の種族ではあるが。
Our outfits might not match perfectly, but just as you and I are different
ゆ
beings,
くゆくは共にあやかしとして仲良く手を取り合って明るく日々を過ごしていこう。
we will eventually live hand in hand as spirits. I look forward to our sunny days together. I look forward to that too.
あ、そうじゃ。いくら楽しみだからといって早まってはいけないぞ。
One more thing, just because you're looking forward doesn't mean you should rush, okay? Enjoy your life here. I wouldn't rush it. I have a happy future that I'm looking forward to, thanks to all of you.
そうか。それなら安心じゃ。いずれあやかしの世に来たら今度こそ正式な式をするぞ。
Glad to hear that. When you eventually cross over to the spirit realm, we'll hold an official ceremony then. You want to do this
決
again?
まっておろう。その時は小春も東華殿も出席してもらう。
Of course! Koharu and Toko will be there too. And I guess we'll be able to have matching outfits that time.
もちろんなのだ。して、もう一度、良いか？
Exactly, and so, may I kiss you once more? Yukamaro's face approached mine, and we shared our second kiss. After this ceremony ended, I knew I'd face a long time apart from him. Of course, I'd feel lonely, but I wouldn't fall apart like before because I knew we'd have a future together. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like you could still see him if in that ending. Hear me out. Spirit wife. Wait, I'm not doing this right.
「我らはすでに夫婦。そなたと添い遂げられると思うと幸せな気持ちがあふれてくる。そなたがこちらへ来るまでその気持ちを胸に抱き過ごしていこう。我のことが見えなくてもそばにおる。感じることができなくても共にある。
Incredible to think that we're already
忘れないでほし
married.
い。我がそなたを心から愛していること。では、そなたが来るのを待ってお
He's
る
got
ぞ。
a lot to say. Incredible to think that we're already married. Knowing I'm with you simply fills me with joy. Until you come, I will keep those feelings to heart and live my days. Even if you can no longer see me, I am by your side. You may not be able to sense me, but I am here. Never forget, I love you from the bottom of my heart. I await your arrival. Let me see. Can this voices, videos, music, photos? Well, I do need to check photos actually. Let's check. Hang on, we're gonna call this the wandering part. Since it is so close to the time I was going to end, we're not gonna try to get into Koharu's. I thought I was further in Yukimaro's, honestly, so I surprised myself. Am I missing any? It says 7 of 7. We got all of them. He's got 8, he's got 9, he's got 7. We got all of those, all of those, all of those. Perfect, we did it. We got 3 of the others. More are coming. Honestly, his last photos were great. These were really good. I like this. This was a great time. I think the wedding photo is perfect. That's a gorgeous outfit. Like, this looks so cute. And snackies, oh my gosh. I don't know if I can find out what the name of that godly ending is. I realized I just called it godly and I didn't put the name on it. See, this is why I like trees. I like trees because it shows me all of the stuff. But you know what? We did it. We got to the end. I'll figure it out. Oh. Oh. Oh, this is their end videos. That's still cute though. I like that. Voice messages. Ah. Listen to a special message, ghost stories, and characters' comments after endings are unlocked. Oh. Oh no. Oh, you can listen to there.
主様だけの座敷わらしとな、主様との思い出の中には辛く悲しかったものもあるが、
Oh,
今へ
interesting.
つながっ我の名は雪マロ。
Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I wish you'd tell me the name of these endings. Oh, I got all of his. Wait, how do I have all of his? All of his. I'm missing one of his. Okay. Is this something I have to collect now? Wait. Are these different endings? Got all of his. Missing one of Cena's. What is this? Missing like all of his. What is this? How'd I mess up so bad? Wait, wait. Hold on. Interesting. Alright, well anyways. I'm still looking forward to the next one. I'm really excited to continue the story. I'm sorry I didn't stream much last week. Again, it was a really busy week for me. We'll do the 9 R.I.P. border. Look, the lovely 9 R.I.P. border with all the cute boys on it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm so excited. But I hope you guys have a lovely day. As a reminder, if you are on our Discord, you can check out in announcements. I have a link to fill out if you'd like to receive a Christmas-themed card, a holiday-themed card. It's not Christmas. I wouldn't do that to y'all. From me, and then included with that is going to be some of the IFI cards, because IFI sent these to me, so there's a few different ones. I just have my address facing me. Oh my goodness, I won't show that one. But I'm going to stick some of these in each of them. I don't think I have enough to give everyone one of each, but we'll get like 2 or 3 in each. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember you can check me out on Twitch. I stream about 3 times a week. And if you're here on Twitch, as always, if you want to remember the lovely adventures we have, I upload all the VODs onto YouTube so you can check them out over there. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. Thank you, Asia. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ninja, for subscribing. Thank you, Rosaline, for subscribing. Thank you, Muma, for being here. I think that's everyone that chatted, and I'm sorry if I've missed you, but I appreciate you guys all for hanging out with me today. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye!